Hello.
Hey.
Welcome, everybody, to another exciting edition of Supernatural Talk. And you only have two of us for the moment.
Am I freezing? Am I freezing or is it you freezing up?
I did not see you freezing on my end at all.
I,
You
I,
just
I
froze.
can't tell if it's me or Jeremy freezing.
You did freeze on me. Hello, Sean. Hello,
Let me
Alex.
see what's going on if it's me. I'm about to say, because I didn't freeze the whole time we were backstage. I don't know what happened.
You just have that effect on live shows. Yeah, Nick is
I'm
running
going to
late.
try to get out and get back in.
Uh-oh. So this duo show is about to become a solo. Maybe. Hi, Shelby.
Well, I'm trying to leave the studio. Hold on. It's not letting me.
Do you want me to take you out and then
What
you
is
come
going
back in?
on?
And there she goes. Hi, Rich. So yeah, Nick is running a little late. He said he'll be on here in just a little minute. And then Adrian is always going to be running a little late because she gets off work right at this time. Hello, Black Wolf Paranormal. Thank you for joining us. And now Eileen is having some glitches on her end. So, welcome to the Supernatural Solo Talk Show. Yeah. So let's just hope that everybody else gets in here. Thank you, Joe. Um, so, does anybody have any topic you'd like to have discussed on the show while we're waiting on Eileen and Nick and Adrian to come back in here? While we're waiting on questions and everybody else, I would like to say that 13th Dimension is coming back on tomorrow. Um, I wasn't really sure when I was going to have the show back on the air, but hi Jen. But the 13th Dimension will be coming back on tomorrow, and the guest that I've got is John Griffin. Oh, and here comes the notorious Nick.
What's up, Jeremy?
So with that, I do want to make one special announcement, and I was actually no,
Oh,
I
look
am
who's
not.
also here.
Okay. Let's
I
try
waved.
this
Just
again. Well,
Tuesday issues.
I don't know what's going on with my internet because I seem to be the only one. What's going on? Oh, never mind. My cat's knocked my extender out of the wall.
I was going to say
Okay.
you weren't having issues earlier.
So yeah, it's over. One of my extenders. My house, is pretty long instead of wide, and so I have three
What?
extenders. And I guess one of them's by the cat tree, and the cat's knocked it out.
Joe.
Kind of makes me think of a video I saw earlier today where a dog was jumping off the back of a couch, and as he jumped off, the fish aquarium was right next to it, and his hind leg caught it, and the fish aquarium spilt onto the couch, and you could see all the little fish just flopping around over there. And there were two kids sitting on the couch, and when the dog did it, they just hauled off. Um, so special announcement to make. I was actually kind of hoping it would happen again, but it didn't. So 4 hours ago, Mr. Nick Muley was actually 9 minutes early for the Great and Back podcast. and they actually have photographic evidence
Yeah.
and
For
posts
those,
about it. So I thought, hey, maybe Nick will be on early tonight.
but he didn't even make the opening credits. Normally
Yeah.
he sneaks in on the opening credits. So for y'all that don't know, he's always late.
Well, not from this show though. The other show though, I was early.
I know. I'm going to take it personally. And by the way, I hadn't seen everyone who's here yet because I was having the problem. So
This is
hello.
confirmed.
Yeah, we got a lot of people here tonight. Joe, Shelby, Jen, Mort,
Yeah.
Allison, I don't know if you're
Rich.
still here. Hey,
And
Sean,
Joe, we
Shelby,
had on
and
Joe, we
see.
had on to the great
Allison?
earlier. Yeah.
Let's see. And somebody from Blackwell Paranormal. I'm not sure who that would be.
Hey, John. Yeah, I would see. You know
oh,
what?
that's probably either Leanne or Todd.
Okay.
Hold on.
I'm just gonna say this right now. Like when Lois posted that picture, she's like, "Nick, you're gonna hate me for this." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And she's like, she tagged me in it. So I went on, I went on my phone and I looked down, and there it was. Like, oh my god.
Yeah, it was like you were caught red-handed because you came in late.
That was pretty funny, I have to admit.
That was a good screenshot she got.
Yeah, man, I'm just like, I look like I'm confused, like, oh, I'm here early.
Yeah, that was a good screenshot she got, considering she got it before you guys went live.
All right, I'm on.
Right. See, here's the other reason why I went on early was because Lois and Rosie, because like I said, Joe was on that show with us, and they hadn't met Joe yet, so I decided to come on, and that was when I sent the link, and while we were waiting for him, I decided to come on first before he did, so that's why I was early today.
Well,
So now,
I went ahead and came outside, so I don't normally have a lot of background noise outside because I'm in a double dead end. But if it does get noisy, let me know because I just came out here, so y'all wouldn't hear my granddaughter. But then it's too hot in the podcast room, but I had to get closer to my main router.
I don't hear anything outside.
I don't hear anything either. And yes, Joe, we were trying to auction his shirt and hat that he was wearing.
Oh, cool. Cool.
You know, I'm mad at Allison. She still hasn't told me when she wants to come on the show because I've told her she can come on the show, but she hasn't given me a date yet, so she's grounded.
Allison, what's the big deal?
Come on, Allison.
And, you know, one thing I did think about, and I'm supposed to put Rich out there, I thought about having Rich on. He's got some awesome evidence that we could use him on the show one day with some of his evidence. He is like so organized.
There we go.
Let's put her in the corner.
Put it. Everybody puts baby in the corner.
Allison stays in the corner, so she's used to that. So, you know, what can I say?
Speaking of guests, we do have some exciting guests coming in the next 2 weeks. Next week, we have the Rev, Sean Whittington and Rich Valdez coming on. And then the following week, we have in Ursula
Bielski, Chicago Haunts writer.
And she'll be coming on the following week. So, Allison, what about the week after that? Would you like to come on?
She's probably going to come on July. She'll probably come on July 33rd. When Brad comes on July 32nd.
Oh, so Allison's got a really hectic schedule right now.
Rich, just let me know just not next week nor the next, and we can get you booked. Y'all, I mean, people get sick of hearing, I think y'all get sick. You might love us too much. Get sick of hearing our voices all the time. We need some other voices.
Well,
okay, I get sick of Jeremy's voice. So, and I get sick of Nick's voice. So I need some other voices. Let me put that out there. I don't get sick of Adrian's voice, so she doesn't.
I was gonna say, speaking of which, where is Adrian tonight?
She probably got held over for work. Yeah, she didn't say anything about whether or not she was going to be able to be here tonight. I saw the coolest thing. Hi, Carl.
Hey, Carl.
I saw the coolest thing. I'm going to share this with you all. I'm not going to tell you what it is. It's just awesome.
And Sean, it's the Southern twang that you like, isn't it? See, I didn't say y'all get sick of my voice, their voice.
Oh my God.
Look at that.
Oh, wow.
My husband needs one of those.
I would love to have one of those.
Me too. What do they sell them like on eBay or something?
A friend of mine had one
Oh,
of
they
those.
all want one.
My friend had one of those big, oversized beanbag chairs, the ones that like the size of a couch. She had one of those. Those were awesome. It wasn't beanbags in it. I can't remember what the filling was, but it was awesome.
That's the type
a friend of mine posted this about a half hour ago, actually. I saw this and I'm like, I would love to have one of those. And yes, Joe, this would be something that would be not recommended for people that have pets.
Or just make it a little bit wider so the pet can curl up. Because if your dog's like mine, my dog's like sleeping on his back, legs straight up in the air, and he has to be right next to me.
Well, it looks like that you can actually fit a pet in there with you. You just cuddle up close together.
Right. That should be the type of bed like any of us, like if we're going like on a road trip and if like we have to like share a room, like if there's like two beds, for example, and the only place to sleep, you can't sleep in one of them, but you can just bring that as a backup.
Take that on an investigation with you.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm getting the bed. I don't know.
Well, actually, I remember 2 years ago, when I went to Mansfield, I had brought two of my friends with me, and they got the bed. I had to get the floor, and to make matters worse, all I had like to sleep on was like just a few pillows. And I'm telling you right now, when I woke up the next morning, my back was hurting like hell, and I literally said, I didn't even say good morning. I'm like, I'm never doing this again.
Well, see, you should be like us girls. Us girls figure it out at a young age because we have like 5 or 6 girls stay the night, and you sleep sideways in the bed. Your feet may dangle off a little bit, but you sleep sideways. That's what we used to do during sleepovers. You had like 6 or 7 girls over. You had a queen size bed. You figured it out.
See, I wish I would have been fine doing that myself, but either way, I am never, ever, ever, ever doing that again because that was painful.
And say that you have a Siberian Husky. I have a German Shepherd. We were looking at a Husky. I almost got one, but I just feel so bad being in the South with the Husky. I couldn't do it.
They don't like sell Huskies down there, or
they do, but it's just so hot down here that they're just so miserable. I had a Husky growing up, and they're just so miserable. But I mean, obviously they're here, but yeah. So there was one that was a stray, and I was about to the point that if I couldn't find the owner, I was keeping it. But the owner came like a day sooner than I gave the deadline for.
It's finally starting to warm up here.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful over here. It was almost up to 70 today. It's in the 60s, but it's still sunny outside.
The highest that I've seen it was 61, but hadn't really looked at my phone much. I was doing a lot of typing.
That's what it's kind of been like right now. It's 63 over here. Yeah, and Joe, obviously, just being a state up, it's been in the 70s for him.
In Wisconsin, it was in the 70s, but only 60s here. Joe, there's something wrong with this.
Well, wait a second. If you think about it, you guys have 60s over there, Jeremy. Me, we were kind of in between that. Here in Illinois, the 60s and 70s, and up for him was like full 70s.
We can't quit
up there for him.
We can't quit getting rain. My grass is getting ridiculous. About the time the ground dries, it rains again. It's supposed to rain all weekend.
That's exactly what's been going on here too. I got the yards mowed, and then I was telling my dad that I was going to mow the yard on this specific day. It's supposed to rain. Really? Then it rained. I thought, okay, well, 5 days after it rains, grass should be dry enough. Hey, I'm going to mow the yard on this day. It's supposed to rain again.
Well, I'm supposed to take the weed eater after my grass here. I'm supposed to take the weed eater after my grass because it's gotten way too high. But
You ain't got much grass over there.
Yeah, it looks like you don't have too much. Oh, here's Adrienne. There she is.
so this is what
Hey.
it looks like in Mississippi. If anybody has ever been to Mississippi, this is what it looks like in Mississippi.
Like neighborhood wise, or
Well, no, just it's pretty out here today.
yeah, it is. Seems like you guys got the same weather down there as we do up here.
I've
That's
been
my
there
dead.
times.
I'm in a double dead end, so I don't get any traffic.
2 years, I'll be coming back to Mississippi again.
Well, if we let you, I might call all the borders and tell them no.
Who do we have here?
I have a feeling we know who that is.
Who is that?
Oh, that is Mimi.
Oh,
Mimi.
it's not. I was thinking it was Brad, but no, it's Mimi.
I'm here, heifer.
Hey, Chantel, great to
Hi,
see you.
Chantel. Welcome.
Now, Mimi, why you normally show up?
Yeah, I know. She usually does.
She might be on her phone on another page.
Either that or came in through someone's personal page.
Yeah.
Well, she's on the Universal page,
Mm.
but she's always shown up under her own name before, so I'm not sure what happened there.
Did you see where she was on the magazine for Colorado's paranormal investigators?
No,
I did.
congratulations.
That's awesome.
I did.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Welcome to the club.
Sean, oh, good morning. Morning.
Well, Chantel lives.
Well,
in
it's morning to some people.
she's in South Africa, so it's.
I mean,
it's
we
very
all
early
say
in
it's
the morning.
it's 5 o'clock somewhere at 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the morning. So you know,
I guess I'm a loser
Oh,
now.
who does
apparently.
that?
Well, I think she is 7 hours ahead.
She's about this. I thought she was about the same like time as like it would be like up in Europe and like in the UK area. I could be.
I think it might be an hour ahead. Chantel, what time is it if you're still here?
Because I know sometimes she says it's the middle of the night over there.
Yeah, so I'm thinking
2:20 a.m.
20.
6 hours ahead.
oh honey, at 2:20 a.m. I'm not telling anybody good morning except the back of my eyelid.
Yeah, I had that issue today too, and that was some bullshit. Dog.
I mean, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's
Oh.
Here.
Well, thanks for letting us know that, Chantel.
Oh, okay. See, I'm about to say
Come on.
now, unless I'm just having a horrible night, I'm still not saying anything to anybody at 2:20.
Say hi. Yeah, you stink.
He
I
looks
love
pretty
you.
happy.
God, you
Aw,
stink.
you smell like your mommy.
No. Oh.
You smell like your mommy.
Oh.
That's right. Anytime a pet comes on, we always try to give it a little spotlight to him.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know where the other one is, but she's gonna go get her little snip here real soon.
Hold on, I'm on mute real fast. I'm gonna show you the cutest thing of all. Hold on. I've shown y'all before, but hold on.
Hope it's. Is it a tarantula?
No, that's me. Oh, that reminds me, it can come back to the basement now because it's warm enough down here now.
Jeremy, I'm gonna message something.
Okay, y'all want to see the cutest thing in the world? Come here.
Oh,
Oh,
Can you say hey?
what you doing, pretty girl?
Say nothing.
Well, that's no fun. Get into something. Get into something. Go play with it. Just
No. So we gotta be very well behaved, don't we?
Pull on her hair.
She's getting ready for night time. So y'all, you're gonna show your dogs. I was gonna show. Oh, you want me to come back? Not right now, sweetie. Okay. So see, I had to show my cuteness overload.
Hey, Chantel, there is nothing wrong with having pizza in the morning.
Yep.
She's a pain in my booty, but she's my cuteness overload.
Well, everybody's saying otherwise.
No, she's a pain in my booty. Hey, she's 2 years old. I'm 44. 24.
No. 24. 24.
I just
Ladies and gentlemen, we now have an official age for Eileen Jeff.
Actually, no. She's 24 and 44 seconds.
I was not made to have a 2-year-old at this age, so I'm so glad I got that problem fixed. My husband wanted 10 kids. I think I would have killed him.
Okay, Nick, I
I
got
bet
your
this-
message. I am
Yeah.
just
It
ignore
was-
me here for a second. I am going to go put that in our schedule thing.
I'm going to mute for a second because I need to yell at a kid to shut his window. It's about to rain.
No, Sean, see, I didn't reveal my age. I just wanted y'all to think I was older than I was. So I felt bad because of all the oldness except Nick around me. So I had to, just say an age.
I bet this is still Mimi as Facebook user.
Yeah.
Probably. I'm not on the universal page, so I can't tell.
50, so don't feel bad.
It is her because that's the way she talks. That's her.
Okay.
I don't know where the kid went. If it rains on his bed, it rains on his bed.
So it's raining over in that area? It's
It looks
over-
like it's about to. I got a news flash on my computer that said strong winds coming. That was about 2 hours ago. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. I'm looking outside, it's sunshine. All of a sudden it starts turning dark and that wind's blowing. I'm like, okay.
Strong winds coming.
I was going to say, if you were able to, you should just pick up the camera and film the storm like I always do.
See, I think we must be getting what y'all are going to get because, like, it's not supposed to hit us till I think Saturday, but it's every time I can cut my grass is when it's going to come a downpour.
We
It
have
seems like-
not. Yeah, we did. We got grass one time this year.
Oh, God. Chantel, don't even remind me. I already knew about this. Ages and cockroach ears.
Now I got you, Chantel. Hold on.
Oh, no. No, oh, no. I know what you're going to put up. Not that.
It's going to rain all day tomorrow, but other than that,
It's not showing up. Where is it?
Yay.
It's not showing up. Oh, there
I
it is.
want-
Hold on.
Damn it. I was going to say I was going to win this time, Eileen. Oh, that reminds me. Oh, God, no, not that. Those. I'll be right back.
he's going to go check his cupboards.
Ah, damn it. I'm okay.
Are you sure?
Are you positive about that?
You may want to put yourself on mute so that we don't hear you ransacking the place.
Chantel, I got you there, girl. I got you. I had to come outside, Adrian, so I get to actually smoke. But I come outside because my internet in my room wasn't kicking too well, and which is fine. It was working fine on my television and my cell phone, and then downstairs is way too hot.
I don't get to smoke at all anymore. Unless I leave town with Jan, then I do. Jan needs to come back. Come on, let's go on a trip.
Just go to Mississippi. We got you.
I need about a carton right about now. I'm starting.
Well, my husband will
convince
call
him.
me.
Go ahead.
See,
Okay,
now here's where it's beneficial to have a husband that's retired, because I'll get to work. I'm like, oh, baby, I'm out of gas. And he'll go get me gas, and I keep my carton of cigarettes in my console. So he'll come back with a full tank of gas and a carton of cigarettes.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, mine does not like the smell of them.
The whole time while I do it. Uh-oh.
3 packs a day when he smoked. And
a day.
yeah.
Whew.
Yeah. Now, granted,
And by the way, I do not recommend smoking to anyone. It's
No.
an addiction.
No, it's not. It's nasty. Now, with these, since I haven't been smoking, I don't have the cough anymore. But they say they're worse for you.
I rotate.
Yeah.
I rotate between them. Like when I'm at darts, and by the way, I beat a really good dart player the other night. I'm so happy. And like it was a smoking bar. It was just too much smoke, so I vaped during it.
They let you smoke in bars there?
This one serves no food, as long as it doesn't serve food.
Wow. There's nothing here, nowhere indoors and within 10 feet of the door or 20 feet or whatever the hell it is.
Well, like I don't smoke inside. So I did that one time right when I got on my own. I smoked inside, didn't think about it. And then we were moving. I moved a picture frame. I was like, never again.
Yep. Yeah, I always smoked inside with my husband when I was in Oklahoma. But
my father-in-law, as we're renovating, I was like, I thought how in the bathroom, the guest bathroom of all, I don't know. Bless his heart. But I thought we had gold trim around the sliding glass doors. All of a sudden, I was like, "Oh my gosh, baby, I'm getting the gold off. I'm so sorry. And then realized, no, it was built up nicotine.
Yeah.
Oh.
I haven't smoked inside for years, but
I used one of those, those little electric scrubbers that you have. I used one of those. I used Brillo pads. I used a steamer. I used still working after 2 months to get all the nicotine off of it.
There's actually a product, and I found it when I ran my own cleaning service. It's kind of expensive, but not for what it does. It's like $28 a gallon or something. And if you have it that bad, you just go ahead and use it straight. And it's kind of a citrus scent, but it gets rid of everything, and there's no smell left behind when you're done. But if you do it again,
we have plumbing issues, so it makes me wonder if because he didn't use that bathroom other than to go to the bathroom for like 30 years. So what makes me wonder is all the nicotine, is it built up in the pipes? Is that why the plumbing? Because we haven't gone that far to get the plumbing fixed yet. I wonder if that stuff would work, putting it down a drain.
Probably not, but our bathroom upstairs, for some reason, I don't understand it. It's got one of those
Jerry
up and down plugs, but it only goes up just a little ways. Water won't even drain down it now, so I have to go take it apart tomorrow and hope to God I can put it back together.
Now I'll tell you, vinegar and baking soda works.
Jerry, I think you got the wrong Jeremy.
Yeah, that's not my last name.
That's not Jeremy Card.
Hey, but he might jump on and see what's up. So
I don't know who that is, but okay.
He looks new for me. I don't remember seeing Jerry. But, oh no, damn computer. Okay.
Okay, typo.
They have a mind of their own.
Sorry, I might hear sirens. We got sirens.
Getting down into the pipes. Honestly, I'm not really sure if that would be possible because
I meant to take showers. He didn't take showers in there. He didn't brush his teeth in there. He didn't. It was just right off the kitchen, or off the living room. So he would just run in there instead of going to his room.
But the nicotine would have to go through the trap.
Oh no, she was just saying that stuff might cut what's in there.
No, I was meaning nicotine.
In the trap?
I don't know. I'm telling you, this man smoked. He was a chain smoker for over 50 years that he lived there. My mother-in-law, when she lived there for like 10 or 20 years, she was a chain smoker. So you had 2 chain smokers for 20 years and one for the other 30. So there ain't no telling we already got the vents cleaned, but there's no telling like I said, I would spray the wall with something and you could just see it oozing down. I was like, oh my gosh.
It's not just nicotine that does that. Pot does that too.
Well, he didn't smoke pot. So
no, I'm talking about my house.
Oh, no, he didn't smoke pot because he was an engineer. So he worked for a big aerospace company.
Yeah. I pulled pictures off the walls to paint. It's like, oh my God. What the hell?
Now, I'm not saying my husband didn't smoke pot once in a while when he was a teenager there. My mother-in-law used to tell me a story. The first time she caught him smoking, she walked in his room and he denies it. I was like, hold on. She told me out of her mouth. She walked in his room and said, all right, let's light up. Because she didn't want it.
Wait, what?
So just something about smoking with his mama kind of killed that theory of him wanting to smoke.
Jeremy, do you know anything about this?
Nope, I do not.
Waynesboro, Pennsylvania.
Excuse
Ways
me.
away.
Well, it's not that far of a drive. I could get there.
Good night, Chantel.
Excuse me. Good night, Chantel.
Good night or good morning. And I've used the vinegar and baking soda. It works for about a week and then it starts back up. But
yeah.
I've gone through like 3 big Sam's bags of baking soda and probably about 4 or 5 gallons of vinegar.
I was just saying a minute ago that I needed you on. I needed you. We were talking about the only time I get to smoke cigarettes is when I go with you. So come get me.
I've heard of it. I just didn't know anything about coming over. Because I have very few things on my schedule for the rest of this year.
So I keep freezing up every now and then. So I'm trying to make this, okay?
Do you?
Right.
You're not freezing up.
Either you're freezing up or I'm freezing up.
Okay. I haven't seen you freeze up yet, so.
Neither have I. So I thought I'd show this. This is why I had to get off for a minute or so. I got these new books that came in. They're more of those scary stories tribute books, and also they're almost like they were kind of designed to have like that cult kind of look to it, except there's not really stories. It has like different drawings and whatnot. And I got to admit, the art in these is just unbelievable, like what they put in. So, but they also added something else to these packages. You guys are going to be surprised by this. I didn't want to show this. Too bad Chantel had to leave for this. And Brad, on the other hand, would be excited. They had sent...
Brad hasn't gotten here yet.
Yeah. They had sent me... Hang on 1 second. Just try to get them organized. Creepy crawlers! Oh, damn it. It's not showing the lights. Creepy crawlers, roaches, and centipedes and scorpions.
Oh, no. We're good.
I can't see them.
Hold on 1 second. Let me see if I can try
No, we're good.
Hey, you guys always done it to me. Now it's my turn. See, something like this with centipedes.
Okay, now I can see them.
Yep, scorpions, spiders. I like the spiders, I have to admit that. And of course, and I just dropped it. And of course, unforgettably, cockroaches.
We can always go out in my yard and find all but one of those. I'm sure if I go next door, I can find the other.
Oh my god! Yeah, they put these in the envelopes when I ordered these books.
Oh boy!
Oh no! We're good.
Boys.
Well, they didn't just send me those. They actually sent me something that was actually really cool. Like they sent these stickers to me, and unfortunately, I can't show one of them, and I can't really show a lot of the pictures in the book because this is going to sound crazy, but this is the first type of book featuring these type of drawings, and there's nudity in some of them. No, it's not porn. I'm telling you that right now.
Well, yeah, if there's nudity, it's a type of porn.
Yeah, I would say so.
But they sent me like these. They sent me these cards here. They sent me. Oh, damn it! Hang on. Let me move the light again. They sent me something like this with the same type of drawing.
Boobs.
Damn it! No, it's not. That's not one of them. They sent me one of these. Now this, they actually
yourself off the black and white filter.
It isn't on black and white right now. It's actually normal color. It's just the light that's making it look black and white.
The shirt that you're wearing
just black and white.
red and green.
Nick's just black and white.
This right here, you guys should probably recognize.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
This
like
movie.
that one.
Donnie
I like that
Darko.
one. Yep.
They gave
That's
me
my Easter movie.
this one you guys should know especially. It's not really a drawing, but it was cool that they added it in. I'm sure you guys will know what this one's from.
Oh,
I can't see that.
It's the Silver
No.
Shamrock masks from Halloween
Okay,
3.
I'm gonna say yeah. I can't see it, but I know. what you're
Oh wait,
talking
hang
about.
on, yeah. This will be better here. Now
There
can
you
you see
go.
it?
Now I can see it.
Yeah, that's the Halloween 3.
Yeah, I've already revealed my age. I'm getting
Oh.
old. My eyesight's going.
I thought you were 24.
Well, Sean pointed out really quickly.
Actually,
Hey,
here's
eyes can still go bad at the age of 24.
oh,
this is
wow.
actually one of the non-nudity ones. This is like what they have in it. I don't know if you guys can really see it, but they
Yep.
still continue on with the black and white. But like right here, they use red for blood.
Ugh.
It's
Yeah.
like, I mean, it's gory stuff, but it's actually beautiful art that they add to it. And then of course you got something like this with the same type of illustration wise.
That one would be creepy.
Let's see what else.
He is
Oh,
not
this
old enough to have that. He had to sneak in with a fake ID. and
Ooh,
all.
I like that one.
wait, what did Jan just say? Am I old enough to have that?
No, Jan, he is not.
He got
Okay.
he got it out from underneath his daddy's mattress.
He's not even old enough for PG-13. Let's put it that way.
Oh no, he graduated till that a few shows back when he started calling our guests a dick.
No, that's what typical 10-year-olds do when they get into that rebellious stage.
Yeah, so when you come down, bring those little card things. We'll put them in resin. You'll have them forever.
That would be awesome. Here's just one more, and I'm actually speculating. I think they
You able to
modeled
do
this
that
off of
fast enough?
this one. I'm actually speculating might be based on a cryptid because based on its appearance, I think they modeled this after the Jersey Devil.
I was going to say that's what it looked like.
Kind
Yeah,
of between that and a rat.
Well, no, it's described as like having a horse's head. It's got the bat-like wings. It's got like a long serpentine tail, hooves, and horns, and that's kind of what it resembles.
That's something got into the green slime a little too much.
Oh, let's see what other cards do I have? Okay, I can't show that one. Okay.
Now people want to see it.
Oh, actually, there is something that no, it does not have that content, but I actually will show you guys something that's really cool. In addition to the stickers, they only made 3, like those books I showed, they only made 3 of these. When I got this one, first off, you can actually turn it upside down because it's got the titles on both sides.
Hold on. Bring that back up. Bring that back up.
So it's like one side up, and then the other side is this way.
Oh wow.
Now, obviously, there's only one side in the book itself, but what's really cool is they sent, in addition to the creepy crawlers, they also sent me some of the same stickers, but they also sent me this for the first time ever, a patched replica of the book.
Are you going to put it on?
I'm thinking about it, but at the same time, I'm kind of hesitant because I actually really like this and just probably going to add it to my scary stories collection, but I'm thinking about it though. So, yeah, and a lot of the stickers they added, they're still pretty much the same. They gave me the same stickers each time except for the first one. Oh, now this is actually really creepy and cool at the same time. This drawing right here.
Yep. Keep it up there. Keep it up there.
Oh, the eyes and all.
Black-eyed children.
It even looks like that the eyes are bleeding.
Yeah, I think that's what their intention was.
No.
So
no.
the design of these books were supposed to be kind of like spell books, almost like they were supposed to kind of be like satanic. Like, I mean, they really aren't. That's why, but they still make it look like it. So that's why, for example, like in the first book, the symbol appears on the back of the book.
Spell books aren't satanic.
Well, it's supposed.
Now we got
supposed to be
some
like-
music going on.
yeah.
a combination of spell. It's like supposed to be like a spell book combination of a spell and satanic book. So
that music was actually going along
it
perfectly.
kind of
I
did. I
know.
was wondering, where the hell did that come from?
You know, that's really sad because I didn't realize I had the sound on my phone, and it was a YouTube video on Resin, a girl I follow from the UK, and that's her intro.
I like that intro.
It's just a flower opening up. That's all it is, and that music.
Shelby, I have not watched Yellow Jackets.
I
I
haven't
was
either.
going to say, what is Yellow Jackets?
Was I hadn't either, sweetie.
When I first saw that
Oh.
title, at first I was thinking Yellowstone, the one with Kevin Costner in it.
I hadn't seen that yet either.
I
Who
haven't
the
either.
hell is texting me?
Not me. Oh, hold on.
I'm not getting a whole bunch of texts right now.
Something might have
okay.
happened.
Oh, wait.
My phone is right here, so I'm not doing anything with it.
My phone's in the bedroom.
Exciting things happening for the network this week. We just had a brand new show debut on Monday morning called Mayday, We Have a Problem. And it's actually a show that really needs to be out there.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that Zach is doing it. It's basically awareness for veteran suicides. And I don't know if he's just doing this as a series or if he's planning on doing it every single week. If there's,
I hope not. We can't have that much bad news every week.
yeah,
It is a constant thing he works on daily.
yeah. Some,
She's talking about the show.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. That's what the show's about?
You got to know Shelby. So, yeah. Shelby probably created it too. And she's probably trying to live it too.
have you seen some of the pictures that Shelby's been putting out lately? They are creepy.
I have not yet.
Shelby's my girl.
I'm
So
not
what else can I
surprised.
say? I'm about to say, what else can I say? You know, I mean,
You know, every normal person has to have a weird friend. She's
Oh, God.
I know I'm
Shelby.
the normal one. She's the
no,
weird one.
no.
Shelby, we were already talking about cults onto the grave and back earlier today. Don't try to encourage it.
Shelby,
No,
you can start a cult if you want. Just stay off the Kool-Aid.
no, baby.
Oh, my God.
You're the vice president of the cult that you didn't even know you were in.
If I had to join anything, I'd rather join like something like Hell's Angels instead of a cult.
I don't think you'd want to be in Hell's Angel.
I don't think you would survive Hell's Angels too much.
Oh, nope, Shelby, I'm good.
I had to try it behind a whole bunch of them in Nevada a few years ago. No, I was a little on edge by the time I finally got it.
They go to Las Vegas. I mean, they do events in Las Vegas sometimes.
I don't know. What is your problem?
Where are they at?
They're
She acts
all
all
over the
sweet and
country.
innocent to the dogs, and you hear, "What is your problem?"
No, they I did not know what 1%ers or any of that was
Oh.
until I got with Zach.
Yeah, I knew it. I've known about that for a very long time. I know exactly what that is.
I didn't know that. And then, of course, when I was in New Mexico, we had the Banditos.
The Banditos, which is one of their biggest rivals.
You know what? They are amazing people. The ones I met have actually saved me more than once when I worked at the convenience store.
Well, I'll tell you, one of the bars we go to is a biker bar. The smoking bar is a biker bar. And when I was 18, I was hanging out at a biker bar. And let me tell you, them guys, they're protected.
Well, over here in
They were.
Chicago, we have the Outlaws. This is their territory, which those guys you don't mess around with. They're very territorial guys. I mean, I'm sure there's probably some that are probably nice guys, like not all of them, but a lot of them are not really the best.
They're probably nice guys until you start creeping into their territory.
But
Yeah.
that's the way it was when I was hanging out at Papa Top when I was 18. A friend of mine used to sing there, and we'd go every Friday and Saturday night. And it was literally pretty much all bikers, and they were all sweet. But you cross one line.
Yeah.
They have their, they have their lines you don't cross, and you know what lines not to cross.
There's actually a TikTok guy who's, I don't know what club he's in or anything else, but he talks about going to the clubhouses, and if you're invited, how you're to act and how you're not to act.
Right.
And I said, that's funny, because I went to one in New Mexico, and it was the Banditos, and I had a friend of mine that her husband rode. Well, she rode. But I said, that's funny. I guess one way you are allowed to act is painting your boobs and putting them on the wall, because that's what happened.
Rich said he's seen the Mongols and the Banditos around his area.
Banditos. I don't know anything about the Mongols, but
the Mongols, they're actually probably the most hated rival of the Hells Angels. They have been bitter enemies for decades. Although at one point, even legendary Hells Angel Sonny Barger, he actually at one point tried ending the war, fearing the enough was. And the craziest part of the reason why they hate each other, it's really a ridiculous reason, is that bottom rocker they have, because the Hells Angels started in California, but when the Mongols formed, the Mongols decide to adapt California as their territory. So, and it triggered this war. And then in the early 90s, Sonny Barger, he finally, being the smarter guy, I think he finally had enough. And Sonny made the calling saying, you know what, we got to end this, ridiculous battle. This will just keep dragging on forever. And so they made the agreement that the Mongols could still wear the California bottom rocker, but only in Southern California. Basically, the Hells Angels claimed Northern California and the Mongols claimed Southern California. That only lasted for a couple years because the Mongols wanted to start a chapter up somewhere in Northern California, but because the AHAs claimed all Northern California is all theirs, according to them, that was their territory. They were to stay out of it. But they ignored that warning, and then next the war resumed, and it's been like that ever since.
What I'd like to know is, what the hell are they claiming? Claiming what? That they can run around there? That they can ride a bike around there?
Some of them, a lot of them do have some really good. They are really good about benefits and serving the veterans and
you'd think you'd want to get together and help with that.
And a lot of them are veterans themselves. Like if you go back to these clubs' early days, a lot of these clubs were started either by World War II, Korean, or Vietnam veterans.
Well, up until our generations, almost everybody was a veteran.
Right.
Yeah.
It amazes me how these guys get how well they get along when they get up in Sturgis, South Dakota.
You know what? I was actually once invited.
In Sturgis once.
I was supposed to go to Sturgis too at one point, but unfortunately the plans for that never happened. But I really wanted to go, not necessarily for those clubs, but just to go to an event like that.
Well, in every aspect of life, you have things that are meant for good, or just and I hate to use the word click, but for a click, and you get those people who turn good things bad.
Oh yeah. Nick, explain to me why you wanted to go. You are not old enough to see the stuff that goes on in Sturgis.
I was supposed to go on my way to Montana.
She was not joking, Nick. She is dead serious.
You turn red when we talk about private parts. You will see those things out there in the open being used. So
it was a friend of mine.
Nick, boobies.
It was a friend of mine who was also a biker. He invited me to go with him. So, but this was a couple years back. But I didn't have the time to go because I didn't have as much vacation time during that year.
See, I hate that I could not make it to Montana. That's where I was going to meet up with Jen. And like I said, I was going to stay the night in Sturgis. I wasn't going to go to during the bike rally and all, but I was going to stay the night in Sturgis, then go on to Montana, and then come back, stay the night in Sturgis again, and then drive on back. But the whole trip just got canceled.
I remember back in the day, they used wrestling pay-per-views in the middle of all them bikers and they ended up stopped doing that because they got worried that all them bikers are there and they're all on ground. They were worried about some of the bikers if they didn't like a wrestler, they started.
Right.
As far as I know, that never happened, but they ended up stopping the event after 5 years. It used to be called, it was Hog Wild, and then it became Road Wild. But
Yeah.
it was a fun event.
Where was this set?
There in Sturgis, there used to be a wrestling pay-per-view
Oh, okay.
on the Sunday night when they were having that big bike rally.
See, now I did not realize until just recently, because you see the women with the bikers. I didn't realize the women cannot be part of it. They could just
Yeah.
be with them.
They're considered property. That says property of this person. Although in the early days, like with the Outlaws and the Hells Angels, women used to be allowed to be members of both. It used to be allowed to be part of these clubs. They depended on what chapter it was, but that only lasted until the 1970s. Up until once the 70s arrived, a lot
So
of these
basically,
clubs
when we started burning bras, then we couldn't join.
once the 70s hit, it just became a men's only club.
Well, aren't they doing things similar to that? What is it called? The Wicker Man Festival? Aren't they doing something similar to that?
That I'm not sure.
See,
Now-
go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, I don't know. Now I forgot to mention this, like all this talk that I said, for example, like the rivalry between the HAs and the Mongols. There was actually at one point, most recently, that the fighting actually had to stop at one point because the Mongols in California, they were actually having trouble lately with all these these court matters going on, because state of California wanted to enforce a law where any member of the Mongols or any of these clubs would have to give up their vests, if they were stopped by a police officer, which, even if these were not the best guys, I disagreed with that. They should be still allowed to wear their colors. And the next thing you know, all of the other clubs, including the Hells Angels, who normally would be fighting for territory, had to kind of temporarily put aside their rivalries and differences, saying, well, we got to do something, we got to try to get rid of that policy. And the Hells Angels and some of these other clubs, they actually put their differences aside again, only temporarily, but actually gave some of their own money for the Mongols to fight this case. And in the end, they won. They were able to keep. Oh, that is awesome.
I would love to see somebody try to take that from him.
Yeah, in the end, the Mongols, they won their battle. They won the court battle, and they're now still able to freely wear their vests.
See, and again, I know that there's bad in every aspect of life.
Yes.
No matter if you're talking anywhere from a teacher to a police officer, there's bad everywhere.
Brad's here.
Because you got bad people. But I'm the type, I don't care if you're a biker. I don't care if you are nice to me and you mean my friends no harm, I'm going to be nice to you. I don't judge anyone. I try my best not to. I'm not going to say I don't. I try my best not to judge anyone.
We all try not to, but some people, you just got to go, huh?
Like I do every time I see Jeremy. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, in this case, I'm just glad that these guys, they still kept their right to wear the vests, regardless whether they were nice or not. I commend them that they won the case.
There are some people out there that people love that I've met, and I'm like, I don't want to be around you.
Not sure what
Something
this
about
is.
you. There's some people out there that scare the crap out of people that I'm like, oh no, we're good.
There was actually
I like that eagle.
that is cool. I like that too.
I'm gonna put. Hold that up. Show
There we
that
go.
there. That is a cool eagle. That is a great design.
I
Whoever
love
made
it.
that really designed that well.
He rides in the freezing weather. So that's where he got his riding name, Polar Bear.
See, my first tattoo is going to be of an eagle. I gotta get a picture of my dad's eagle, but it's gonna be. I judge you all the time. I said I try not to judge, but yes, I judge you. I'm gonna get my dad's got an eagle right here that he got in Vietnam, and when I was little, he used to take his arm and flex so as the eagle would fly. So I'm going to get a picture of it before he loses too much weight, but get a picture of it the way it's supposed to look. And the only thing I'm going to do is change the talons a little bit where it's carrying a tiger lily. So, and my dad already knows because he told me if I do it before he dies, he'll kill me. But I'm going to put it on my back, on my shoulder, and it's going to be his eagle, but it's going to carry a tiger lily because mine and my mom's flower was a tiger lily. So it's going to be both of them in honor of both them together.
Yeah, there you go.
Just don't try flexing, Eileen.
Brad, you would be scared if I flex because I can flex my pinky and it's stronger than you.
Oh,
You're in trouble now, Brad. You're gonna wish that you never said that.
I
like
tell
that,
you
Sean.
what, I have been wanting to get a new tattoo for a long, long time, and I know exactly what I want to get. Just that I don't know if I can get it right now because of all the surgeries I'm having to go through. So once everything is done, that's my next thing.
My daddy scares me is the only reason I haven't gotten a tattoo. The first time I got my non-ear piercing, my dad, he saw it and he flipped out. I'm talking, he's like, I made that and da da da. I was like, oh my God. And it became embarrassing because your dad's talking about, making you, and you're like, oh gosh, no, I don't want to hear this. Okay,
Oh.
no more, Daddy.
Here you go, Eileen. Shelby's got an idea.
I keep telling Shelby, let's do it. I have to put somewhere my daddy can't see it. I'm still a daddy's girl. I have smoked since I was 9 years old. Okay. I stole, my sisters were older than me, so I stole their cigarettes. And I quit for a while, of course, but I've had cigarettes in my hands since I was 9 years old. Do you realize I have never smoked a day in front of my father? Even when he had to live with me after his first stroke, I would go out back and smoke so he wouldn't see me. I'd come in and to do mouthwash and shampoo before I ever saw him.
Wow.
I've been saying when, Shelby.
Yeah, I was gonna say Mimi now is showing up as herself instead of
Oh,
Facebook user.
good.
It's all going to Abbey Monastery in August.
There's a short list of us. I don't know who all are actually going, but
Right now, there's only 3 going. But if we can't get everybody paid up and done, it's like
really,
before it's over, it's like $2,000 and some dollars for the Abbey of both nights and all that. So
Oh gosh.
wait a minute. We got myself, Nick, Scott, Tammy. There's 4 of us coming in
Yeah.
from Indiana alone.
In Illinois.
Mimi, Janet, Jennifer.
oh, thank you.
I thought Jan was coming out though.
Yeah.
Well,
Jan,
I also thought there was one other person going, and I think I already talked to you about this, Adrian. I think even Rosie was interested. I think if it was Jan, I think who invited.
Yeah,
Rosie?
we just got to get everybody's payments in so I can do the
Okay.
deposit.
Adrian, I'm still having. Is there a way? Because I also have, in order to pay for this, do you have Venmo or Zelle? Can I Zelle or Venmo it to you?
Send it to Jeremy. He knows how to send it to me.
Okay, because I'm still having trouble with this.
Well, I had to have her send me a request because I
Yeah.
could not find her on
Yeah.
PayPal. So I just told her
I
to send me
told you what the link was, and I haven't seen it come through yet.
Nice try, Eileen.
What's up, Joy?
Hello.
Hey, Joanne.
She get tattoos when we go to New Orleans.
Shelby, when we are in New Orleans, there's going to be way too much drinking to go on to think about tattoos.
So that's when you do it.
No,
Oh, yeah, no,
my
you
luck,
should
I'll be
do it.
going. I'll be the one that they'll start here and go down here, and it's just a straight line.
Well, no. Well, I was gonna say was just do it so that way you don't have to feel the pain of the needle.
I'm a wimp, unlike Shelby. I've got the numbing cream already.
Should never get a tattoo after drinking.
That's why I did not get my first tattoo in Mexico.
Most
Not
tattoo
another
parlors, they won't put a tattoo on you if you've been drinking. I
They
know
will
that
in
the one
Mexico.
that I went to would
In
not.
Mexico.
They will in
Mexico will
Mexico.
do whatever you ask for American money.
Yeah, it was one of their policies because they didn't
The blood
they
thinning.
didn't want anybody
Yeah,
coming
you
back
bleed.
to them. So, hey, I was under the influence. You gave me this tattoo. Blah 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 blah. I'm suing you.
Well,
That's
a friend
right.
of
You
mine.
cannot legally enter into a contract, and signing that you want that tattoo is a contract under the influence.
Well, one of my coworkers, he's got tons of tattoos, and he went and got this one huge tattoo on his arm or on his shoulder blade. I can't remember, and he didn't realize he had a sore on his leg, and he ended up getting staph, and it almost killed him.
Oh,
Oh my gosh.
So, and he didn't even know it was so small, and he was in the hospital for like a month, and they had to go in and do some surgery around the tattoo, which now is kind of ruined. But yeah,
Oh wow.
see, I'll be honest with you guys. I mean,
that would be my luck.
the age I'm at, I still don't have any tattoos.
Oh my gosh. Zach made homemade egg drop soup.
Oh, I love egg drop soup.
I do too
And
from the restaurants, but
They
this is
drop
amazing.
soup?
I didn't know
What
he
is-
could do this.
Okay, Jeremy, please tell me you know what egg drop soup is.
I do not.
It's that yellow soup
I don't either.
that's at Chinese restaurants. That kind of
Brad.
yellow that's got like white stuff floating in it.
That explains it. I tend to stay away from Chinese restaurants.
Oh God, Shelby.
We do chicken to kind of Mississippi, Shelby.
Okay,
I
number
never
one.
said that.
Number one. Shelby, you ever met his mama? I don't think so. I don't think so.
Look, I think I told y'all before, the very first time I saw Shelby, she was wearing a crop top, and I saw her stomach tattoo. And ever since then, I have been like infatuated with her stuff. It's a Ouija board.
Oh,
It's
that's
an Ouija
awesome.
board tattoo. Oh, I love
Every
it.
time I
That's
see her, I'm
awesome.
like, let me see the Ouija board. Let me see the Ouija board.
And no, Brad, it will definitely, even if I got a tattoo, it will definitely
I
not
have
be
to
wrong.
ask this simply because she's got the Ouija board tattoo on her stomach.
We do not use it during investigation.
Shelby, have you laid down and let somebody run a planchette? That's your-
Never mind. I'm not even going to say what I was about to say.
I have to ask.
Her boyfriend needs to go get the planchette.
Inquiring minds want to know.
Wait, what did you say, Eileen?
I said her boyfriend needs to go get that on him. You can use your idea where as a tattoo. So he can I'll let y'all's mind go with that one. I couldn't even say it with a straight face, so I'm gonna have to keep my mouth shut.
I have not touched that one.
He can put it on his
Not his
hand.
hand. Not his
I
hand.
am not going.
I am not going there either.
Well, she's saying yes to somebody. I don't know who she's saying yes.
Yeah,
Nah,
I don't even have to finish a sentence, and all y'all are so dirty-minded that y'all know what my sentence was going to be.
I'm
Just
innocent
saying.
here.
Just remember,
I'm
I never
innocent.
finished the sentence. Remember, I never finished that sentence.
Right.
Everyone who wants to read into that, I never finished the sentence.
I'm innocent here, so I'm not going to finish it.
you didn't have to. See, we can be dirty and still be clean about it.
That just tells you who we all hang with.
Eileen should write smut books. I don't even know what smut books are. I don't even think I want to know.
In some of my stories, I've got some pretty nasty scenes. So
Is it involving roaches?
Yep.
no,
He sent
Okay.
them to he's talking about all the roaches he sent to your house.
Oh, hello there, Jockey from Scotland.
haven't
Okay.
seen you in a while.
Hey, I'm going to go on mute and out of camera range. I'll be right back.
All right.
I'm kind of wondering where Adrian had went because she said she'd be back. So I'm kind of kind of on the scared side here. What she's going to bring back for us.
Oh well, it is supper time over there.
Yeah, it is.
So another piece of exciting news for the network that we also picked up another show that's going to start next week called Paranormal Plus with Grizzly Chris and Tracy Iman Iman.
I thought it was Inman. I thought it was Inman.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
I wasn't really sure how his last name was pronounced. So they're going to be starting next week, and Chris decided to have me come on as a guest for that.
Yeah, because I was going to say you and I we've both been guests on his show in the past. So I didn't know you.
A different one.
I'm thinking of
the one that you and I were on. That's when he comes on just at any time.
Yeah, well, you know what I mean. We've kind of been on that show. I didn't know you were going to be back on with him. In other words.
Yeah, I'm going to be on with Grizzly and Tracy for their show that they just started a few weeks ago. And that one is on Wednesdays at 8 Eastern.
You know what? I was going to say I can look it up because what I did was, I noticed she hasn't been in the chat. I was just
Eastern.
Yeah, I was just
because it comes on before me and Donald whenever we do a wrestling show.
What I was going to say was I noticed she's not in the chat, but Lauren, I just messaged last night because I know obviously her being a huge fan of this network. I messaged her last night about Tracy and Chris's show, and it did show the time, 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern. I wrote that info down so she knew about it.
Yeah, so I'm excited about having those guys. I have been wanting to get Chris on the network for a long time.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't stay with the set schedule, I couldn't really offer him anything.
Yeah.
Now that he does have a set schedule, at least for this particular show, it's going to be exciting because Grizzly, to me, is an excellent interviewer.
And Tracy, I found out, I didn't know that she was down in Alton, Illinois, which it's crazy to think. I could have ran into her a few years back when I used to go to the Haunted Row Media Paracon. She lives down in Alton.
Well, I'm sure he goes to other Paracons.
Well, no. Tracy actually lives down in Alton, I'm saying.
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is that he may travel out to other Paracons.
Well, this was like 5 years ago, though, so I don't know if he was there at that event or not.
So we got that one coming on. Then we have some other shows that are in the works, but nothing set yet. We got one show possibly from Australia coming in.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have another show. I don't know what the premise is going to be, but a friend of mine is looking to put a show together and come on. A couple more beyond that. So we have a pretty tight schedule on this.
Yeah.
If I could get Shelby to have a set time and day that she does her shows. She does her shows on her actual page. I've been trying to get her to come on over, but she can never block down a definite time and day every week.
Mm-hmm.
Last time I remember when she did, it was during the time that we had another show that was on.
And the show from Australia that Jeremy had was just mentioning, that is with I keep forgetting her last name. Nikki.
Well, I wasn't going to mention whose. I was just going to say, okay, we got a show coming in from this and a show coming in.
Well, what I was just going to say, just only about that was, we've still been in the talks about it, and she said she was going to get a hold of the rest of the group, and I guess at this point, listen, Chrissy's here.
I gotta behave. I can't talk about people anymore. I'll get grounded.
So, Nick,
what are you not grounded?
Hey, I'm scared of Chrissy now. I ain't scared of too many people, but I'm scared of Chrissy.
okay.
Not me.
Chrissy is one of those few people who will put anybody, doesn't matter who they are, in their place.
I might can kiss her on top of her head.
Agent,
but let me tell you, I'm scared because boy, she gonna come after me after I kiss her on top of her head.
Hey,
Okay.
I feel bad, and
This
she
is
was
really
come
short.
after me because I wasn't acting properly.
Wow. Okay, so Nick,
Adrian, yes. What were you gonna say?
I just found out something you might already know, but I was telling Zach that I showed his vests and whatever. But did you know that there is actually an all-girl biker club? It started in Florida, and it started because president, whatever they call the leader.
Yeah, chapter or national president.
Yeah. He was shot in his garage.
Oh.
And she started this club because obviously she's not going to be able to go still ride with them. And when she started it, she ended up marrying a rival gang member.
Oh.
Not one that shot him or nothing like that, but it was from the Outlaws. The guy was from the Outlaws, and she married a rival gang, whichever one it was, I don't know. But I learned new little rules all the time, so I was making sure I didn't do something wrong by showing it. He was like, no. He said, but you don't go out of the house with my vest.
No, you can't wear it.
No.
Oh, no, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't do that anyway. I've got my own.
I'm going to try to walk back into my bedroom. So if I lose y'all, I'll come back out.
This is going to sound crazy. I mean,
good outside where you're at right now.
It's what?
It's got to feel pretty good outside.
It's beautiful here. It's 78.
See, we got you. I'm not going to say exactly who, but there was actually 2 investigators I knew. This was a few years back. I think one of them, was actually a Hell's Angel, and then the other, I think, was attempting to become one. And I made a little mistake about that last year at a Paracon because I was at Silcon, and Tom and I we went to the bar, which was where we were supposed to have the after party, but it turned out they had their party at a different bar. But Tom, because for him, him being the driver, and since he was exhausted, he just wanted to go for a drink. And I'm just sitting there next to him, just having a drink too, of course, wearing my colors. And I didn't help but notice there were some people watching me, and like these 2 big guys. And then there was a woman that was with them. She came up to me and she asked me, how cool my vest was. And we started talking for just a couple of minutes. And it turned out she revealed to me that she used to be, of course, I know they call them this in these clubs, she was originally an old lady for the Sons of Silence motorcycle club.
Yeah.
And I made the mistake saying, well, I actually know 2 people one of which is a Hell's Angel, and then the other. Something should have told me that I shouldn't have said that because, again, the Sons of Silence are another big rival of the Hell's Angels. And she I was like, oh, no, we don't play around with Hell's Angels. I'm always going to, I'll be with I love Sons of Silence, but not Hell's Angels. And after that, we just talked a few more minutes. Then she walked back, but those 2 guys were still staring at me, and that actually kind of made me nervous. And I decided the best thing to do was I ran back up to the hotel room and I left my vest in there. And then I came back because I really started speculating either those guys were Sons of Silence members or those were probably some of their buddies. And I feared it because I saw one of them was going on their phone. I was fearing he was calling us Sons of Silence.
Yeah. You don't.
So I took it off and I left it off for the rest of the time I was there.
Yeah.
I would say that whenever you go into a bar anywhere, don't wear that vest.
Yeah.
Well, this was where we were supposed to have the party, and it was just supposed to be like investigators, but
right.
It was such a long day. I wasn't even thinking about it up until then. So, but then later on, one of the guys, along with this girl, left. The other guy stayed, and then eventually a few other investigators came by, and then something happened in between where that guy almost got into a fight with one of the bartenders, which then I heard rumors, and this I think actually scared me more, that because this bartender, it's crazy, it sounded like it was some racial issue because he was Hispanic and the other bartender was his wife and she was white. And I heard rumors that he was calling up some friends, and I don't know if this was true or not, but supposedly he was a member of the Mexican mafia. I think, oh God, the Mexican mafia. That's even worse. That actually scared me more.
Oh,
than the Sons of
Shelby.
Silence.
That's awful. I'm gonna tell you what. I have had nothing but good experiences with truck drivers and bikers. They have saved my life more than once. When we were at the hell,
I don't know what happened.
Good.
Oh, wait, here she comes.
not long ago when I worked at Chevron in New Mexico. Of course, the Banditos, they did a really good job because we were right there on the border. So we had a lot of trafficking, and they would pick up women and take them away. So when they would walk the beach area, it was a little lake, and people would be stalking them. All they had to do was text. This guy put his number out there for the world, and they would text him, and somebody was on watch constant right there at the beach area. Well, this old man came in New Mexico, especially Chevron, we had to see IDs for cigarettes, alcohol, no matter what, or it was our job.
What?
And that's awesome, Joanne.
Wow.
That's awesome. And this Bandito, he was one of the higher ups. He came in and he said he was with a prospect, and he said, I seen him pull up. He was getting gas. Of course, it takes 10 seconds to get gas in a motorcycle, but this guy in a white van pulled up. Not that the white van was scary. He parked. He came in, and he was older. He had a white beard, and he wanted cigarettes. And I told him I had to see his ID, and he was like, "You don't need to see my ID. You see how old I am," and which I understood his point of view, but that was my job. And I told him, "No, I can't do that." And he got mad. He walked outside, what I didn't see, and the biker when he came in did see, was he had a gun pointed at me through the window.
Oh.
And I didn't see it. All I saw when I turned was his finger. And I went, I'm cocky. I didn't see the gun. And he put down his stuff and he said, "I'll be right back." What? And I said, all he did was flip me off. He goes, "I'll be back." And he caught him at the next gas station down half a mile down the road. Nobody that I know saw him again. I don't know what happened. No clue. The prospect never came back, but the guy did. And he said, "Problem solved. He won't bother you again."
Really?
I didn't ask. I said, "Thank you." That was the end of it.
Wow.
But, you
Sounds
know,
like what happened to my husband. My husband, his first wife, their house got broken into while they were there, and their wedding rings got stolen. And my husband was a bounty hunter and a bondsman for years, and he knew one of the guys. And as he kept saying as they were getting robbed, "Dude, I'm your boss's bellman. I'm your boss's bellman. You don't want to do this."
the fuck?
And
What? And I'm what?
Yeah.
hey, sweetie, but
no.
but my husband made the phone call. He got the rings back, and the guy was never seen from again.
Yes,
My husband was
exactly.
going right.
Exactly. And, I still got this guy's number just because he was amazing. I don't ask questions, but, every once in a while, I'll text and say happy birthday, Merry Christmas, whatever. He's amazing. So the next time I was like 21 working at I don't know if y'all remember like Phillips 66 on the turnpikes where there was eastbound and westbound.
That was before my time.
And yeah, well, I worked westbound in Vinita, Oklahoma, and it was over the world's largest McDonald's, which probably is not the world's largest anymore, but whatever. It was called the Glass House. And I worked the westbound side till 11 o'clock at night. Then I would walk home. That's how safe it was. And that's how old I am. So
That was back when you put your thumb out to get places.
that I did not do. But
Howie?
Hi, Howie.
You know, and it was one of those things that
There you go, Adrian.
You guys,
We
I
had,
can't see comments. I jumped on my phone because I was having internet problems in here, so I can't see comments. So if I'm not ignoring anyone, but I do want to say hey to my brother Fro.
who?
Who?
No, she's ignoring everybody.
Who?
I called Jason Fro.
Shot at every day.
Fro? Why Fro?
Well, I'm
Whoa.
glad you had the guts because I sure didn't.
He's got Fro.
Enjoy.
Thank you. I love
Me too.
Okay.
An inside joke between them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I figured.
So this guy, there was a crazy house right down the road. Well, that was the years when all the asylums turned everybody loose. They had nowhere to go. They turned them loose on the streets. So they turned the asylum into a prison, minimum security prison. And somebody escaped. And they came up there, and there was no like bulletproof glass. There was before I left, but there was and this guy walked in and just crazy acting. And one of the truckers saw him walking in. They were sleeping in the back lot. And I knew their names. I knew when they were supposed to be there. If they weren't there, I was calling. And the reason for that was because one of them went down. He burned up.
Oh, okay.
His truck caught on fire. So I'd always call, hey, is he supposed to be here? Where's he at? But this guy came in and he goes, I'm not leaving until he does. He stayed there with me for 2 hours. You know his load was late. And he probably got in trouble. But he did not leave until that guy left. Down the road, that guy killed someone.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yep. I would have never thought that. I told him to go. I said, I got this. I can handle myself. He said, no, ma'am.
See, that's what worries me. Like my job. Okay, yes, it's an office job and all that, but we deal with a lot of different people, but we're not allowed to have guns, right?
Right.
Well, luckily the properties I've been at since 2012 have all been really good properties, but I've had my life threatened. I've had my kids threatened. I've had to the point where I had someone standing. If y'all got to know Jackson, if anybody has ever been through Jackson, you understand what I'm about to say. But I had this guy standing outside my office, and cell phones were around, but it's back when you paid by the minute.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had evicted him. He stood outside my office with a baseball bat, in his hand. And he had called me from a cell phone, and he had told me that when I leave, he was going to come after me and my kids. And so I called the daycare. I told the daycare I'm going to be late because I wanted to make sure he didn't know where my kids' daycare was. But I left and went down all these roads to make sure, because again, my husband being a bounty hunter for years, I learned different tricks. Mm-hmm. So I would go through different areas to make sure I wasn't being followed. Yeah. Until I finally made it to the daycare. But I mean, there's been several times. Yep. And I worked at a gas station too. There were some properties I worked at that I felt safer working at a gas station than I did at a property.
Yeah, and that's what's really bad. Now I can say it. I couldn't before. But when I worked at the Chevron, you couldn't have guns. You obviously can't have a gun while you're working behind the counter in a big corporation store like that. Oh yeah? I'm wearing cowboy boots. You're not going to know what's in there unless I have to use it. If I have to use it, I don't give a damn if you know what's in there. Because it's too late by then. I have no problem carrying.
Well, see, when I would call JPD, they say, well, did he put his hands on you? Well, no.
Yeah, exactly.
There's nothing we can do. And they would not. I've chased people because when you work at tough properties, you can't be weak. And that's the thing. I look all sweet and innocent, and 99% of the time I am. But when I feel the need to get heated, I'll get heated.
Yeah, right? You heard that?
What?
Sweet and innocent.
I know I'm sweet and innocent.
Oh my God! I just about choked on
I have
milk.
chased
out on that one.
Yeah.
I have chased people down who were trying to break into my residence apartments. I have chased
Yeah.
people down because they were firing guns.
Yep.
I've been behind them on the phone with JPD, and I've gone like at this point like 5 miles behind these people, smart enough not to be right up behind them.
Right.
And JPD never shows up.
Yeah. That's yeah.
And then we've got this thing now called Capitol Police that's kind of taken over the JPD area, and it's a big ordeal around here. But it's because JPD is so corrupted that you arrest someone's mama's brother's cousin's uncle, and you have to release them because they're related to somebody.
Yep.
Sounds like Bobert's house.
Yeah. It's. I don't play. I'm old enough and I'm willing to admit I don't give a shit. I will spend the rest of my life in prison because you know what? I'm going to get my meals.
I don't have to
I don't care.
I don't have to babysit. I don't have to put up my kiddos. No, I'm picking. I love my kiddos.
My kiddos can come visit. They're all grown. No. Oh, by the way, I can finally say it now. We are going to be grandparents again.
Oh, congratulations.
Congratulations.
So we weren't sure if it was going to. I wasn't allowed to say anything because, first of all, it was the other grandbaby's birthday, so she didn't want to overshadow that baby. And then she announced it at the end of it, but she had just had surgery on her gallbladder, and she was like 6 weeks, so they weren't sure if it would even stay. So she's still going good, sicker than a dog. And so we will see. I hope this is a little boy because she's done. Done. She didn't want the second one. Done.
You say yours can always have a place to come back. Man, mine come back and they don't leave. So there is no place to come back. They don't leave. They come back and they stay, and then they bring more with them.
Mine leaves so far. They go to Japan.
See, now I kind of wish my oldest would have went to Japan when he was in the Marines, because I felt less guilty him being there and not seeing him than when he was in California and I didn't go see him.
Right. And we have one in Japan,
Hey,
2 towns over that we hardly see. And then my daughter, the oldest, is in close to Lawton, Oklahoma. And I haven't seen her. We used to live a mile apart. And so, we were really close, and we're only 17 years apart anyway. So,
Well, let's see. One of mine lives right there across the hall. The other one lives right there across the hall. And when the other one's not at the renovation house, he's across the hall. They rotate rooms. The other one's got a room down the hall, but he lives in Starkville, but his stuff lives here. But he goes to Mississippi State. So
okay, so he's got a reason.
Yeah.
okay, he can take his stuff with him.
Mississippi.
No.
When you say Mississippi State, when you say Mississippi State, are you talking like Mississippi State University?
Yeah, MSU. Yeah.
Oh, MSU. Okay.
It pains me to say Hell State, but they're giving my son a free tuition, so I'm good. I have to say Hell State, but it's Hotty Toddy.
Hotty Toddy.
Toddy.
Toddy. Okay.
And you can call us Ole Miss Land Sharks all you want. We're still Ole Miss Rebels.
Okay. I know nothing about it from this end, but
Okay.
We had to change our name.
I got a picture from Chrissy of Jason's fro. So okay, I understand it now. Yep, I
Thank
get
you
it.
for clearing that up. I forget he's 10 years old. He doesn't know what.
I didn't know what a fro. I was trying to think, what is a fro? It's
yeah.
a hair. It's like a hairdo.
I forget he's 10 years old and he doesn't know what a fro is.
He kind of had the beginnings of it when we were all in Mansfield.
So how come
Shelby,
it's
you're
called-
fired. You are no longer on the back road. Toddy, Toddy, gosh almighty.
Why is it called Hale State?
That's from Mississippi State.
Well, yeah, but why is it called Hale State though?
Because they're saying hell to stay.
Oh, okay, all right. Go LSU. Isn't that Louisiana State University?
That's that old Cajun stuff down there.
Oh wow!
All them
Okay.
coon asses.
Kelly, for me, it is 9:30 at
Yeah.
night.
Over here it's 8:30 p.m. over here in Chicago.
8:30 here.
7:30.
Yeah, I've seen Kelly on. I'm not sure if you guys remember Kelly. I know she's been watching a few of our shows on this
I-
network.
I've seen her on.
She
Yeah,
she was first. We first. I think we were among the first to have met her. Was when we did. I think it was either the Frighteners or it might have been To the Grave and Back. So
The Frighteners,
Nick-
I think.
I think it was. Yeah, me, Lois, Ian, and
Mhm.
Bri. We were. I think that was the first show we came.
Wasn't
came
she
across.
on when we had that birthday party for you?
No, she hasn't been on any shows yet at all.
No, I
Really?
mean in the comments.
Oh yeah, I think she was. Yep.
Was that the roast? Oh, Shelby's so really fired now. I will never investigate another day with Shelby.
Yeah, you will.
Nope, not when she said roll tide.
What about getting
At least I understand that comment.
What about getting
Eileen,
tattoos?
I did not realize that Jackson was right on 55, so I'll actually be going right through there when I come down to Baton Rouge in 2 years. So I'm gonna
Yeah, I can when
Kelly's-
I leave the renovation house, I call it that until we move there, full time. And I get to our red light, I can see the interstate.
okay.
Kelly's the clean-minded
I'll have
one.
to swing by and harass you when I come through town in a couple.
Do not stop in Jackson. You stop in Rankin County, Madison County. Do not stop in Hinds County.
Are you talking about stopping for the night?
Anything. Don't even stop for gas in Hinds County. You don't know the neighborhoods enough. Don't stop in Hinds
it-
County.
Is it really
Let's
rough
see.
over there?
I want to say that where is it at? I did stay in Mississippi the first time I went through. This was like 15 years, no more than that actually. I think Durant is where I stayed.
Mhm.
Durant.
Durant, yeah, I think that's where I stayed.
Mhm.
But no, I'm talking about when I get to Jackson, I'd swing by and harass you.
Well, you'll have to be in Brandon, which is whichever way you're coming. I'm thinking you'll be coming, hit Brandon first, but you have to hit Brandon first. But don't, whatever you do not stop in Jackson. You do not know the neighborhoods or the areas enough to know where it's okay to go. There's some great areas. We just had some of my meetings get so. We just had a seminar yesterday talking about that these big companies are trying to come to Mississippi, but then they hear the city of Jackson at one point, some places have water now, literally had no water. It was national news.
Really?
Mhm.
And some places still don't have water, and some of those places only have low water pressure. And then they don't even have trash pickup right now. You have to take your
Wow.
trash to
Reservoir.
old abandoned mall because there's no trash pickup.
So it's got to be like completely like polluted then, right?
No, because what's happening is a lot of neighborhoods are pitching in. It's all a legal thing. I mean, all a political thing.
That's what
Everybody
Kelly
wants
was
their mama's
asking.
brothers.
Who
Yeah,
all the
all their mamas.
politicians
They
live
want
there.
their mama's brothers to be, it's like that. But a lot of the neighborhoods are pitching in and calling waste management and getting roll-offs at the beginning of the
Mhm.
neighborhoods for you to put it in, but the neighborhoods are having to pay for that.
Mhm.
The politics in Jackson's, it's not fun.
I
That's why
can't
we all
even-
live in the suburbs.
I can't even imagine.
A couple of years ago, we had an issue with one of our, not New Haven where I live, but in Fort Wayne, they had a major problem with their trash company, and they weren't coming in and picking up. And people were saying, "Well, I'm going to stop paying the trash bill because you're not coming in and picking up my trash for weeks and weeks at a time." But the problem was the way that they had it set up here is that your trash bill and your water bill are somewhat intertwined. If you
Ours
stay
is too.
in your trash, then the city's going to come in and turn your water off.
Yep. Yep.
Oh, see,
Yep.
ours is all on one bill.
Oh my God.
I was gonna say
Eileen.
she lives in the boonies now, but South Jackson. I've heard
You
that.
can't get messages because you're on your phone, huh?
Right.
Hey,
So-
do me a favor, Jeremy, and screenshot right now. I'll send the message and you can see it later.
What I was going to say, well, Shelby just. So Shelby just.
Adrian.
Y'all gonna make me go over to it. Hold on.
Kelly's asking what they're doing about it, though. Like this whole situation.
Doesn't sound like they're doing anything about it.
Do you have local councils, or you do
Put
not
it this
have?
way: the
That is-
president had to get involved with the water department, with the water. Now we do have. I just found out yesterday. I was in a what's it called? I forgot what it was called, but we had a bunch of different business owners talking about it and all. They just brought some people in. They're going to create some lakes for some good running water. And then like we have a thing called the reservoir here. It's a 35. I see how smart I am. It's a 35,000 acre man-made lake.
Power.
And when it's around like Deuce McAllister's old house, the lead singer of Three Doors Down lives out there.
Oh,
those
I love
houses,
Three Doors Down.
When it's because Three Doors Down is from here, but
Yeah.
but they their area is not going to flood when the reservoir gets over, so they open the spillway. It floods Jackson. Knowingly, it floods Jackson, where we've had to boat people out of their apartments when they opened the Pearl River, the spillway up into the Pearl River. And there's, nothing they can do about it.
Yeah, and Kelly's right. You know, that's the problem with a lot of this.
Yeah.
world.
Oh, that's what you're talking about, or what she was saying before.
People need to stand up for shit. And you know, it's amazing how many people you'll hear it all over Facebook. Oh, well, you know, you need to be good. You need to try to do this. You need to. Okay, so how about start doing it and see how many follow? Why don't you try that?
Yeah,
She said, not the answer. They need to stop paying their council fees. Pick up your trash and take it to the council. She makes a really good point.
Yeah.
Well,
Dump it
that's
on their
part of-
doorstep.
Yeah, it's yeah. I'm not even gonna get into a political thing, but yeah, it's that there's a reason everybody is left. Our metropolitan, I think, is one of the most failing metropolitan. And you, like I said, the crime rate is so bad that they had to get a different police department in. So whatever y'all do, if you ever come through Jackson, please, unless you know the area, do not stop in Jackson.
I will make sure that I gas up before I get to Jackson. But I am going to have to go through Jackson and take a turn on 20 to get to Brandon.
See, now Shelby said that she used to live she lives in the boonies now, but South Jackson used to be her home.
Yeah. And like I said, my husband had a house basically in Shelby. I'll know where this is, but it was basically on the corner of Terry and McDowell. When I was growing up, McDowell was our drag strip. We would race down McDowell. We'd hang out McDowell and all that. And so he had a house, paid for everything, and almost paid for. I think he owed like $10,000 left on the house. We let that house go because the value of the house was less than what we owed.
Yeah.
And where it was getting the area was getting shot at all the time, and you just. But now I'll go there because I know what streets not to go down.
Mm-hmm.
You can go down this one street and it's a great neighborhood, whatever you turn right instead of left, and you're not coming out.
It's just, like when Shelby just mentioned about like South Jackson, because I've obviously done a lot of history. It's sad to see that. And this is not only, you don't just see it with Jackson or South Jackson particularly, but just other areas or towns or neighborhoods like this, that they used to be such like safe areas, or great areas 50 plus years ago. And now they've become like this crime. Because I know it sounds unrelated, but I was just watching a weather documentary about it was a tornado that went through South Jackson back in the 60s, the Candlestick Park one, if you're familiar with that, Eileen.
Yeah.
And before the tornado struck, they interviewed people, survivors, and they said a lot of them, of course, were kids at that time. But they said at that time, like when they were living at that time in the 60s, it was just like your typical, safe neighborhood, great place to raise kids, to grow up and whatnot. And now here we are over half a century later, and that's completely changed.
I would say you wouldn't be caught dead in Candlestick Park now, but you would be caught dead in Candlestick Park. You wouldn't be caught alive. But yeah, I'm in Jackson all the time. But I know my husband used to work in West Jackson by the by our hospital, our state-funded hospital, and you'd hear gunshots. You'd be outside smoking, you'd hear gunshots. All you could do is you'd look up, you'd stand up, you'd look, no one's running to you, no one's running from you. You sit back down and finish your cigarette.
Yeah. So on the internet, use your social media to help these suburbs, so you could all be the one person.
Yeah, but when people don't want that live there, don't really want to help themselves. And I'm not gonna say everybody, because like I said, there's some great places there. But when people don't want to help themselves, my company bought a property out there and was trying to revamp. Even the laws, like, because I'm in the housing industry, the laws would be different literally from person to person. And like you would, like, I do rent collection, so we would have people in court for not paying rent. Well, one judge, you take partial payment trying to help someone out. Well, obviously, you broke the contract, so now you have to file again. The next judge the next day would tell you, well, you didn't take the money. Obviously, you don't need the money, so now they don't owe you anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's just so back and forth like that even people who are trying to revamp are pulling back out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was at the meeting I was in yesterday. I was with the owner, and he's got some big restaurants here like Salamukis, Bravos, and Broad Street. Great restaurants. He's from Jackson, grew up in Jackson. He wants to get back, but I mean, he's fights every day to get it back to where in its heyday.
Yeah.
But speaking of Jackson, I do have to say this: it's outside of Jackson, closer to where Shelby lives. But did y'all hear that the lady that Emmett Till that was killed at 14?
Yes.
She died, I think, the same day Jerry Springer died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so too.
And
So
Emmett
he
Till,
cannot convict anybody of that.
in Emmett Till, he was originally from here in Chicago, but was visiting
He
Mississippi.
was down here visiting. Yep. So
That
no one
was-
got to be tried for that because she just died after recanting and everything. She just died 4 days ago.
How old was she? Did they say?
I know she was in hospice, but I don't remember how old she was. I think it was 4 days, whatever day Jerry. I think because I saw someone put a meme out there and it was so funny. It said the Jerry Springer show in hell, and it was Jerry Springer talking to her.
Oh gosh. Okay,
Jeez.
so I have a question. I want y'all's opinion on this. I know y'all don't know my opinion on this, so nobody's influenced. But which Eileen would be influenced to go against my opinion, so
Probably.
we're good here. All right, so I saw this thing on Facebook the other day, and I just all right. No matter what religion you are, it doesn't matter. Why do you think that spirits still remain on this earth?
I can tell you what my opinion is, and I am not Catholic. My husband's Catholic, and we've had deep discussions. He's opened my eyes. I do feel that would be that no one's technically, and I know I'm going to get a lot of grief on this, but no one's in heaven nor hell until the end of days. And I think that's why we have spirits here, because no one's in heaven or hell.
Okay. Nick, Jeremy?
Come back to me for last. I'm still deciding right now.
All right.
Well, I'll be the first one to tell you that I don't follow any religion whatsoever. So I don't conform to any belief. Now, as far as people staying behind after they die, I think that there could be any number of reasons.
There's a couple of reasons right here. What everyone's saying in the chat. Unfinished business.
Unfinished business could be one of them. Another
spirit.
one is that
Not ready to cross over.
could be that, or that where we are at really is a version of hell or heaven, whichever way you want to look at it.
Okay.
So, you know, the old phrase "heaven on earth, hell on earth." Maybe it
Okay.
really is that way. There could be any number of reasons. I don't want to speculate on any just one reason,
Mhm.
because I'm sure it's both right and wrong.
And this is not a popular topic, and that's exactly why I brought it up. We're being controversial anyway. Let's do this. I've
ready.
heard many versions of this. So I just want to hear everybody's version.
So I think I'm ready to answer mine. So
Okay.
mine is kind of a combination of a couple different things. Actually, some of the chat even kind of helped me out with this.
Mhm.
For me, of course, I was raised Roman Catholic, so it's a lot of the typical kind of things. But I think it's a combination again, like with the unfinished business. They're not really a crossover. I also think maybe it's just because they're stuck in this side, and they were unable to cross over sometimes on their own. But I think also, and maybe just even after death, that actually, who was it that said? Oh, Rich made a good point. I ever wondered if it is purgatory that we're tapping into. Like, how do we not know that? This could very well be purgatory itself, in a way.
Actually, my husband and
And-
I just had that talk this past weekend.
Now, Shelby just said, I think they're just energy waiting for another vessel. I don't know, it's a dumb thought, but that's how I've always felt.
Why is that
I
dumb?
don't think that's
Yeah.
a dumb thought at
No, I
all.
don't think it
wouldn't say
is.
it's
No.
dumb.
Now, Kelly makes another good point here. Because of energy, the earth has energy, and we can't see. Look at the Egyptians; they used energy, sound, etc., to communicate.
Really quick here, the reason why it's not popular is because you can go to 100 different investigators and ask them that same question, and you almost
right.
guaranteed to get 100 different answers.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
Because no one knows the answer.
yeah,
No, we don't. Nobody
do.
does.
We all have our educated or uneducated, in my sense, guess.
Right. And that's all it is. And that's why I asked the question, because I really hadn't thought about it till here recently. And I've been talking to a lot of different people. And of course, everybody has a different opinion. I don't put mine out there until I find out, what theirs is, because I don't want them to think like I'm judging them for theirs, because I'm not. I'm learning. I'm not judging.
Yeah. No two opinions are the same.
No, they're not.
Go ahead,
Kelly's
Kelly.
got a question.
Yes.
Okay.
Go ahead and ask. Yeah, and
ask
while we're waiting for,
that's why we're here.
and
If you have
while-
questions, ask them.
but yeah,
Because
while
guess
we're
what? We
waiting
don't
for-
have answers. We just have guesses.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
it.
well,
That's
we're-
it.
Only give you what we know from our own personal experiences.
So while we're waiting
Yes,
for her to
yes.
type, what I was
Camera, we see it. Say hi and move on.
What were you saying, Zach?
I was gonna say while we were waiting for oh wait, now she did. Okay, so you're in a woman's tummy, are you alive? Like
To me,
just
yes.
in the womb.
To me, yes.
Yes.
But I have a different reason for saying that. So, and it's just an opinion. That's all it is. Where'd you get it from? There you go.
So what I was gonna say, and this kind of continues on, like this finishes up like what I was gonna answer to Adrian. Yeah, so me, it's a number of different things for me. I have really kind of not really just one, but several different opinions of, why some spirits can't leave. And you know what? There's also times that even when they do leave, there's also times where sometimes they come back and visit, like, checking in on family members. We've heard the familiar thing about visitations from the deceased. So even when we do leave, we're never fully like, completely what's the word I'm thinking of?
Completely gone.
Completely gone. You can, yeah.
It's
Well,
not like you can go-
there was a better word for it. I just can't remember.
You're
but no,
released. You're
Yeah.
released.
or banished, something like that. I can't think of the word. But,
Those are actually very good answers.
yeah.
So, if yes, when is your star sign? That's a very good question, Kelly.
That's a really
Is she
good one.
talking the astrology signs like Capricorn and Cancer and Aries?
I have
You
a
know,
question on that, but
I
go
lost
ahead,
a lot of
Adrian. I
faith
want to
in
know
that.
your I want to know your thoughts on what your question was.
Um, I'll answer Kelly's real quick. I lost a lot of faith in that astrology when they started changing the signs and dates and all that stuff. Not that I ever really followed it, but there's a lot of truth to it. It's been that way since
Did
they
they
can
ever actually officially change it? Because I know they keep talking about the speculation of the 13th
Thank you, Sean.
sign, but I don't know if they ever really changed it.
I don't really know either for sure. I just know they were going to. Okay, so my opinion on it, and I'm kind of caught between two different opinions on it. I'm actually there with Eileen more than anything else because
Oh gosh, that's scary.
it does. Yeah, don't record me on that because we'll never hear that again.
Brad will.
Yeah,
Well,
Brad
that's what I
will.
was saying about Brad.
I haven't seen him in the chat, so I don't
He
know if
was
he's
in
still
the
on.
chat.
Well, I know he was. I don't know if he is on now.
I think he's working actually.
Yeah.
But I do think that even if we are here, which in the Bible it does say he will come back and get his, and then there will be hell on earth. The earth will be hell, whoever's left. Okay. Does that say that those of us that were alive when it happened are going to, it doesn't explain that. I don't know. But I teeter between, I use Christianity because that's how I was raised. And I also use pagan and Wiccan. I'm not going to cast spells on somebody and none of that.
Oh, I casted one on you earlier today, so don't worry. But go ahead.
Oh, that's what happened. Okay. I forgot my protection charm. So I believe, even if I believe all in Christianity, God gave us this earth. This earth has its own energy. I do believe that. But, even at that point, our spirits go somewhere. So, and we're investigators. We know they're here.
Oh, jeez.
But my question is, why aren't we getting spirits from, let's say cavemen? Or are we?
Sorry, guys. My mom was coming into the room. That's why.
How would they? I'm about to say
she can't hear you.
Well, but tell her hi, I said. I didn't say hi to her. I said, tell her hi.
But
Adrian said she said hi.
There you go.
Adrian, but how do you, again, like you were just about to say, how do you know you're not? Because how was their form of communication back then?
And that's something I have found also is, and I've seen other people, but I've done my own research on this. Once you are in the spirit realm, yes, they can talk to you in your own language, whatever language you speak. So, and we, as soon as we're gone, we know more.
Right.
I don't know of one investigator that has ever gotten the answer to what do you see beyond us? What do you see? What do you feel in your realm?
See, and it almost makes me wonder, and I hate to say it this way, but if there, and this is the best way I can describe it, if there's rules or laws on the other side that they cannot tell us certain things, because and then but you
Yes.
have your rule breakers, just like here. You have your on
Right.
this plane. You have
but
your law
maybe-
breakers.
But maybe is that consequence more than they're willing to take?
That yes.
I don't know. Or maybe they gain a knowledge that if they did tell us these things, that it would hurt us.
Well, or also would it not hurt us, but would it take away the fascination of
Right.
what is on the, because that is, I mean, if you do believe in any higher being, I mean, my brother's an atheist, so he doesn't believe in any higher being,
Mhm.
but
Right.
but if you do believe that you can take that from someone And when you don't, when you've lived that, do you really want to take that from somebody? Or
Right.
I mean, just take the experience, good or bad, whether what is on the other side is exactly what you think and how pretty it is and all that, or if that is not like that. Whatever is on the other side, you're still taking that experience away from someone by having the knowledge.
Right. And that's something I have studied here recently is near death experiences. Or, well, I mean, they did die. And legally they died. Their heart stopped beating. They died. Everybody saw something different. That's what I'm like, okay. So if everybody saw something different, and we know that spirits can like be there in a second. You think about it, or they can be there.
Well, see, like in my husband was raised Irish Catholic, so we do have little discussions. I was raised Southern Baptist, and in the Bible it says the gates of heaven and hell do not open. And so, yes, do I say my mom's in heaven? Yes, I do all day long. But I say that for me.
Right. And it's only for us. It's what we think. It's what helps us through our lives. Is what I think. Shelby, that's a really good question. What do y'all think about the theory that we choose our lives and the lesson we learn before we're born? I'm going to tell you
Hell
this.
no. Hell no. Hell no.
You're only saying it because it's Shelby.
No.
I'm going to say yes.
Hopefully I was smart enough on some aspects not.
No. I'm going to say yes to a point. I'm going to say whether we choose it or a higher being chooses it for us, because up until here recently, obviously we all know I'm old. Up until here recently, and we're going to be blunt about this. There's no, I mean, we get as blunt as it is on this show, and I'm an open book. I don't care. So judge all you want. I'm good. Up until here recently, the last 2 years. And this is not just with like my marriages. I always thought, okay, there's something more. There's something more. There's something I'm missing. And I'm constantly chasing what I'm missing. And then I'm like, okay, I'll start a new hobby. I'll get halfway decent at it and I start something else. Because I feel like there's so much out there to do that I want to do it all.
I'm like you. I have like my crafting. I have so many people are like, well, what do you do? I'm like, it'd be easier for me to tell you what I don't do when I craft.
Right. And I'm that way with everything. Like, I don't excel at anything. I get good at it and I move on to the next thing. Like, I don't have enough time in life. I want to do it.
I get to where I understand it. And the same thing with research. I'm the biggest research nerd because I'm kind of like Nick. I want to know everything about, not everything, but almost everything.
Yeah.
I can tell you, I mean, I can't split it out, but I want to know it for that time. And I don't care 2-3 months later if I remember it, but I want to know at that moment,
right,
something about this or something about that.
Right.
But before we jump too far on that, Kelly made a comment asking about.
She's got a couple of questions here. Let's start off with
one
this.
thing. I don't think you are your sign when you're born. The reason I say that, believe it or not, I was a preemie. I was born 2 months early.
Mm-hmm.
And I am a true, by every definition, an Aries.
Mm-hmm.
And it is, I mean, but if I would have been born when I was supposed to be, when I logistically was supposed to be born, I wouldn't have been. But my personality and everything falls on, I mean, there's a few obviously twists in there, but I believe that's where I'm supposed to be.
And I'm the opposite. I think everybody can relate to something in every sign. And so if you think that's your sign, you can relate to that and say, yeah, that's me. I think a lot of our personalities are, unless we completely go against the grain, are kind of insinuated to us. And we as humans are kind of, we go with, not so much go with the flow. We either go with the flow or we go completely against it. whichever way works for us. But we're all in or all out. And, you know, it's one of those things that society does a lot of that for us.
Yeah, I think a lot of our personalities, our attitudes come from society and also from our upbringings with our parents.
Right.
Right.
I got the best and the worst of both of my mom and dad.
Well, I got my daddy's temper but I had to learn, and that's one reason I do try to stay so positive all the time, because I did go through that spell in my life where I could see myself going down a dangerous path. And
please explain
Yeah,
that.
I was going to say, this, what she was asking, stomach or like, I think she means
no, not that. I know what she meant by that. We answered that.
Okay, so she did have another question. I'm not sure if this is the one she's asking.
Go to the last one. That one.
Oh, I didn't see that one. Okay, it's on sunset and sunrise. Do we have a sunrise and sunset?
Sunrise
That's
and
what she was
sunset.
asking.
That is all based on our perception of how it is. The sun doesn't really truly rise or set. It's just how it is with the rotation of the earth.
Right.
It's just from our perspective from where we're at. It looks like the sun is rising or that the sun is setting, but it's not. It's us that's doing the moving, and the sun is staying where it's at.
And also, like, if you look at like the North and South poles, like there are times where the sun doesn't, rise or set at all. Like in some cases, like on the North area, there's like 6 months of sunlight completely, just no nighttime whatsoever. And then in the South Pole area, it's the opposite. You get like 6 months of nighttime before the sun ever comes out.
Now the thing about that, the sun does not
you're right,
move,
Kelly.
does move. We're just moving with it.
Right. And that's like the same thing too. Also, like if you look at, and we talked about this, a few shows back, Jeremy, like for example, like when we were talking about all the things about Mars and the Martian landscape, when that rotates, same exact thing too. It's not the sun that's moving in the Martian sky. That's just Mars moving on its own.
I don't know. That's really something to consider too, because I do know that it is a fact that in like Alaska, let's say, they have months of night.
Yes.
And that they have months of day.
That's what Nick was saying. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like in the northern areas. Yeah.
I couldn't do that. Sorry. No.
I need my vitamin D.
Right.
It would be very hard to live in that environment.
I need my vitamin D, or there would be a lot more dead people in this world.
That would be like, that's basically the kind of lifestyle that you basically have to be born into, like to get used to it. Like
that's all you know.
Getting up. Yeah, because like getting up at like, let's say like 7 a.m. or so, like if you're coming from even from another state and you had to stay there for like an entire month where it's nothing but total darkness, and you think to yourself, thinking, oh man, this can't be right. You still would think that you still need to sleep. No, that's just simply part of the day.
They actually kind of tackled that with the movie Insomnia with Al Pacino.
And they also did that with the movie 30 Days of Night, though it's a vampire movie. But still, that still focuses on the day, like days of month. I mean, the entire month of whatever month it is, completely
like
darkness.
Like when I would go back and visit my family up in the Seattle area, it was always so gloomy. I could understand why people in Seattle were always severely depressed. It was just so gloomy out there all the time.
Kelly's full of questions.
I have to have my southern state.
Okay, Kelly. If I get what you're really asking here, I speak 3 languages. None of them fluently. Obviously, English is the first one that I don't speak very fluently. But I know the words for 3 different languages. It's what we're told. It's what we're told it is. That's what we associate with that. Dog. Okay. It's dog in English. It's kuche, don't you dare, in Bulgarian. And it's perro in Spanish.
But here's the thing. We can sit here and think things through, like really start thinking. Because me and my husband, we do have in-depth conversations a lot. Like I saw what Kelly put in there about a man wrote a Bible. Yes, the man wrote a Bible. The thing is,
Yeah,
not
that's
so
what
much
Kelly
a man
said,
wrote a
too.
Bible, but a man translated the Bible.
That's right. They put
That's
three
the
people
biggest thing.
in rooms.
But you can sit there. We sat there the other night. We were eating something. We're like, who was the first person who thought, let me get this out of a cow and start drinking it? But you can do that to yourself to death. But at what point do you just say, okay, and just
Shelby.
live? Because because we'll go through thoughtful thoughts
Oh my
like that. And then
God.
we're
I
like,
don't know
okay,
that.
I'm getting a headache. I'm not even worried about this anymore. Let me go on.
Right.
Shelby said
And-
that she knows how to call someone a bald-headed bitch in sign language.
I do too. Anyway, but Kelly, I understand your thinking. I do.
Kelly, I'll be right back, guys.
Okay, I do. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I am paying attention more.
I
do
am.
know-
I'm a conspiracy theorist to a limit. I don't
Right.
go looking for it. Now, my husband is a conspiracy theorist nut, so a lot of it gets brought to me, and it does make you sit and think. We do. I
Mhm.
mean, we do sit and talk like that. But again, like I actually went to like 4 or 5 different preachers, priests, different religions. My son was probably about 4 or 5 years old. And he said, okay, dinosaurs existed before man.
Okay.
So why are they not in the Bible? So I was like, that's kind of a good thing. I went and asked so many people. One person came back with, they are, however, back when the Bible was translated, when there was a description of a cow, there was a cow in front of someone that they could go, okay, this describes a cow. So this is now in the Bible, it's going to be called a cow. This describes a goat. Now it's a goat. So it was like they could see something based on a description
Right.
and call it what it was during translation, but they could not see a dinosaur
Right.
and translate it.
Right. And another thing that we've been watching some strange movies. Just never mind this, but
That's me all the time.
okay. So what about? And we don't go in depth because we completely differ. So we don't go in depth about.
Me and my husband do too, yeah.
But well, you've been married long enough to be able to kind of veer around it where it's not an argument.
Yeah, he's put
Desperation.
up with me for 23 years, so we're good.
Right. So
It's stranger than this one.
I bet.
Sean,
And yes,
I-
Nick, I was a year old when I met my husband.
Sean, that was I don't know what that was, but I heard a loud noise when I sat down. That was just like, what the hell was that?
You farted. It's okay.
That's what I'm saying, you
no,
farted
this
a
was-
minute.
This was something coming from the chair. I don't know what.
Exactly.
I
You
blame it on
farted.
the chair too. It's okay.
You guys didn't hear that noise. It was like this bang.
We were talking.
Yeah,
We pay
it
no
was
attention to
loud.
you,
It
Nick.
was loud. I'm really surprised you guys didn't hear that.
We pay no
I
attention
get
to
to
you.
the point where I just tune out any loud, sudden noises, so it's nothing to me now.
So let's think about before the Bible. Okay, yes, things happened. If we believe in the Bible, yes, things happened. Yes, certain stories are told. But at what point? I mean, let's think about the beginning of time to when it was translated. Even our family stories in 3 generations have changed.
Changes.
I mean, it's like playing telephone. I can't
Mhm.
imagine it's any different back then. So
But let's take it that a step further, Adrian. A man translated the Bible. How many times
I
did a man
was
get
not
it right?
going there. 3 men did actually. 3. They were locked in rooms until they all come to with the same theory.
But how many times does a man get anything right?
Nope. Nope. Anyway, But like even before that, okay, if you believe in cavemen, what happened there? If
Oh, here we
you
go.
believe that Adam and Eve were the first, okay, what happened there? But
But here's the thing that's always bothered me about. So we're all from incest.
well, we watched a story the other night that really invoked some real thought here. Not a one. We always see pictures of Jesus white. Okay, not a one of where the Bible started had any white to them. None.
No, I don't think he was white. I mean, he was, you know, he was light skinned.
Now, Kelly has another question here.
Hold on, I want to show y'all something real quick. Speaking of Bibles, I don't know if you can see this. Hold on. Let me see.
You got a stack of Bibles there?
No, hold on. I found
You need
this.
to.
Can y'all see? It doesn't show.
I can see it. We can see a little bit.
Okay,
There we go.
Eileen Pork.
Pork.
So, okay, I was named after my grandmother who, oh, hold on. There we go. I didn't realize you did that.
May 27th.
1984. So I
Oh,
found
wow.
my grandmother's Bible, and my grandmother, you know, that's who I went to church with. Her name was Eileen Parker, and I was named after her, and I was Eileen Wilson. So she wrote a note in here. I wrote Eileen Parker, May 27th, 1984. She put, little Eileen was restless in church at East Morton Baptist. I helped her write to keep her quiet.
Oh God.
Oh, geez.
Kelly, please explain what you mean by that and your thoughts behind that.
Is this what she was
No.
asking?
No.
This.
While she's explaining,
Yes.
I do want to say something about the Bible. So when the Bible was written, they wrote it in the way that they could only describe it at the time.
Mhm.
So if the events that happened back then happened the exact same way now,
Mhm.
we would be writing about it in a completely different way because of how
Oh, yeah.
what we know of what's happened back then.
Right. Yeah, that's
So-
exactly right.
So let's take Jesus and Lazarus.
Good night,
I
Shelby.
need to get my husband in on this conversation. He
Shelby.
loves this.
He said that Lazarus rose from the dead. If that happened today, we could say that Lazarus was in a coma.
But then again, how many times? Because you have that, you do have that illness where people literally are. I mean, everything shows they're dead. That's why, and they used to be buried with the bell and all because they figured out they were burying people alive. So, but there is those diseases that have that basically you show every sign of being dead.
Yeah. And another one. There's the whole thing about a blind man back then. All of a sudden can see again. Well, we have people today where they're basically blind because of all the shit that they got in their eyes. You have your surgery, clear all that. Hey, I can see again. Now, granted, they didn't have the technology then that we do now, but still, I think it's the same concept.
Well, people also say, well, why was there no cancer back then? Well, but was there? And we just didn't have the technology to prove it was cancer. Look,
Yeah.
I came down, and y'all got to excuse the mess. This is kind of like our packing room. So I brought my husband. Everyone who doesn't know him, meet Michael. They're
Hi,
talking
nice to
about
meet you.
different theories that I figured you might want to jump in on. You get very interested in all this. So this is the first podcast.
Hey, what's everybody talking about?
Okay, so first thing I want to know is your theory on, we all know the Bible states, you know, all of our pictures that we've seen are Jesus is white.
Mhm.
But the area that he came from is not.
Correct.
So what do you get out of that?
I think he is Jewish, which would mean not white, not
Right.
Caucasian. Excuse me, not Caucasian.
Light skin.
I think he would be more olive complected, like Jewish people tend to be. He'd have dark, kind of curly hair, kind of, not hair like this,
Right.
not hair like that.
Right.
You just have to go with the time, and that's what I think the times. I mean, that's what I think he is. They have that new Netflix about Cleopatra coming out
that's
now.
right.
I didn't see that.
I heard
And,
about it.
That either.
Jada Pinkett Smith, she has her being black,
Yeah, I've
and
seen-
although Cleopatra was born technically in Egypt, her father was Ptolemy. He's a Macedonian. He's as white as I am.
Right.
She was not black. She was Caucasian. Just because she was born in Egypt, her parents were not Egyptian. They were Macedonians. So she was Caucasian. So I don't know. You can take that for what it's worth. I don't know. I've never met the man,
That's how we have these conversations all the time.
but we do.
The
We do.
dimming chemtrail. You guys heard of that before? Or the dimming chemtrail?
Well, I know about the theory of the chemtrails that are being left behind by the planes.
Oh
but
gosh.
of different
That's
chemtrails.
real.
Come outside because I'm
Sean here says, I always wonder in Catholic religion why they try to hide the devil like he's not there. But in the Bible, he is. I get they have to be careful with health issues. They ask the priest, they always tell me I don't know why.
Well, see, Michael was just saying, and because you got the exorcisms and all that. That's one of the only religions that believe in that is the Catholic religion.
Well, Zach had an idea. He goes, he is there. He just wears a collar.
Well, and it's not even just like, if you think about it, everyone's, when it comes to, like, for example, exorcisms, everybody's always familiar with, like, the, classic Roman Catholic exorcism. But in the case of other religions, they do have their own type of exorcisms. In fact, I can even just give a quick example. About almost 8 years ago, when we had one of the ghost conferences here in Chicago, we had somebody, obviously he was Jewish, and he talked about basically Judaism and the paranormal side, including what would also be called Jewish exorcisms and how they work, how do you compare it to like Roman Catholic exorcism, some of the, not necessarily everything, but a lot of things like you would compare with Catholicism, in this case with Judaism.
See, now when you start talking Catholicism, you lose me. Am I still here?
Yeah, you're still here, although
Okay.
Kelly said the
But you
show was
lose me in different ways, huh? But you lose because, with Michael being Catholic, I did look into Catholicism.
You're good.
And the first, I realized it was not for me when the first page of this book I opened up basically was telling me, calling all my kids bastard children because, he's been married before. So I was like, okay, well, that was just my sign that Catholicism was, even though it was one thing, it still was my sign. It wasn't for me. It is for him. If my kids want to be Catholic, whatever they want to do. I don't believe in making my children a certain religion. They are what they find that they are. I've got some that are agnostic. I got some that are Baptist, and my kids find what they want to find. I don't push religion on them one way or the other.
Yep.
Mm.
Good night, Andrew.
I think I'm losing y'all. Let me walk down closer to somewhere else. Michael,
All right, guys. It is 8:30 almost.
9:30 almost over here.
Yeah, it is getting late. Freedom of religion. That's right, Sean. So we all have something to think about, if nothing else.
Yeah.
Next time we start talking stuff like that, I'm gonna get Michael a lot earlier because boy, y'all should hear the conversations we have in my house.
I would love to talk to him.
Eileen, I was going to say, like all this talk that we've had, especially revolving religion, I was going to say that's got to be obviously a big thing in your area because obviously you living in Mississippi, that's obviously part of the Bible belts.
No Catholic there.
Yeah, my
She froze.
Apparently, actually, my age is
Right.
whatever.
Oh wait.
There you
What were
are.
you trying to say? You froze there for
Okay.
a second.
My great whatever grandparents, they started a primitive Baptist churches here, but my family, when they came over, were Quakers.
Oh wow, that's
Really?
They
Deep
actually,
religion.
William Penn gave my 29th great grandfathers a bunch of land up in the Delaware area.
awesome.
And you ended up in Mississippi.
That family migrated to Mississippi. Then then my daddy went up north, had me, and came back to Mississippi.
Wow.
Is it
And
like
Kelly, we've been on for 2.5 hours
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, it's been a and I gotta ask this because I heard it from somewhere again. This is something to do with the Bible Belt, but there was someone who once said this. I don't know if it was like in Tennessee or one of the one of the southern states, but is it true that there are times there's like more churches than there are like gas stations? in the United
Yes.
States? Okay.
Baptist
Yes.
churches.
There are not
Here's
any-
the saying.
Yeah.
Here's the saying. When United States was created, men went through and created bars and whores. The
Yeah.
hooker places, whatever.
Oh, brothels.
That's what they called it back then. Then women came behind them and created churches and schools. That's how America was created.
Wow.
We have a church probably on every like 2 churches on every street corner
Yep.
in town.
We do too, and even here.
Well, even
Around here, it's always been said that we have more churches and car lots than anything else.
well, believe it or not, I mean, some people may find this hard to believe, but here in Illinois, I mean, not obviously where I live, but like way down at the foot of like Southern Illinois, they consider part of that too as the Bible Belt. Because, like I said, if you look at our state, it's Northern and Southern Illinois, we have different cultures. Because like up here where I live, we're kind of like involved the suburbs and the city, of course. Down in Southern Illinois, which is more rural and it's more farmland, of course, and even the accent is different down there. And that southern part of like literally on the crescent part of the state is where they consider part of it the Bible Belt.
Oh, you ought
If
to
I
hear
lived
my
in the
redneck
Bible
ass
Belt,
when
they
I get
would
mad.
not like me.
What's that?
If I lived in the Bible Belt, they would not like me.
Yeah, they probably, well, they wouldn't like me if they found out I was from North, because even though we're the same state, there's kind of been somewhat of a bitter rivalry between Northern Illinois and Southern Illinois
That's not
people.
what I would be referring to, is because I've got an open mind.
Yeah,
Most people with devout religions, they don't like that.
No, they don't. All right, guys.
Kelly.
So
I got to get myself to bed. That's Kelly. I would love for you to be back on when we don't have a guest in 2 weeks.
We have a guest
well-
for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Rich, we might have Rich on if he's on
And
board
then-
in 3 weeks.
And
Okay.
Kat
Well, we
Hobson
don't
would
have
be
a
the-
guest on, Kelly. I really like how you think, your ideas, your opinions,
yes.
just because they're different and you're willing to say it. So I'd really like to know more about what you're thinking.
time in Australia.
So we started this show 2.5 hours ago.
So
Kind of
6 o'clock
oh,
Mountain Time in USA.
yeah, it's 7 o'clock over here. So in Australia, the
It would have
question
been
is,
2.5 hours
I
ago.
think
I was
she
gonna say,
said
which
it
part
was
of Australia?
9:30 morning when she came on.
Okay,
Hey,
If I
hey, I
remember.
know we're just gonna wrap this, but I keep losing signal again, so I'm gonna go ahead and call it. I love you. Thank you for everyone for tuning in.
all right, 9:30
Good
a.m.
night,
Well,
Eileen.
is it 9:30? 12.
12:26 now. So that
Okay,
was
so it'll be 10 a.m. your time.
okay. So it'll be the morning for. I was gonna say like which part of Australia, because I just like here they have different time zones. I'm not sure which part of Australia she's in. I know it's also comprised of states, so that's why I was asking.
So she knows now that our show starts at 10 a.m. her time.
Yeah.
On Thursdays.
Oh, New South
I
Wales.
guess it'd
That's
be
where she's at.
Friday there, wouldn't it?
It'll be Friday mornings for her.
Yeah,
Okay.
New South Wales. That's where she's at.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Kelly, if you're following the network, you'll see the notifications coming from us when I set up the studio for this show, which is normally sometime on the weekend, and it'll say that Supernatural Talk is going live on this day at this time. So you should see something for you coming on at Friday at 10 a.m. And next week is going to be really interesting and really fun. We're going to be having the Reb, Sean Whittington, on here, and
Not sure if you've seen his show, but we have him on our network too.
Yeah. he's got two shows on this network, Friday night and for us Friday night and Monday night,
which would be like Tuesday and Saturday morning for her.
Right.
Yes.
I wanted to live and could not find you. Had to search for it. Kelly, send me a friend's request and I will send it directly to you.
I'm already friends with her, so but yeah,
okay, send it to her.
Yeah, one of us will send it. We'll send it to you, and also Kelly, as usual, too, will be back on tomorrow over here with the Frighteners.
Then I will be back on with tomorrow night, bringing back the 13th Dimension. I'll be on with John Griffin, and we're going to be talking about the Paranormal Puzzle documentary and also the new song that we got out.
Yes.
I am so excited about that song. I have been getting some great reviews off of it.
Oh, it's awesome.
And I just recorded my own version of that too.
Kelly, so for the Frighteners, that will be
10, so that'll be 6 a.m. her time. You come on.
It'll be because over here, for Frighteners tomorrow, that will be that will be 2 p.m. my time. I think you said 6 a.m.
That'll be 5 her time.
No, 5 a.m. her time.
It'll be 5 a.m. her time, and then 10 a.m. your time, Kelly, when my show comes on.
Yeah, so same time as Supernatural Talk tomorrow night for 13th Dimension.
Yeah. But next week we got Sean Whittington, Rich Valdez on. We've had Rich on before. We haven't had the Rev on, although I've never met this show. Nick, I don't remember.
I was going to say, I have not been on a show, nor have I even actually got to meet him like face to face.
We produced this show.
Okay.
So, this will be my first time actually meeting him and actually chatting with him. So
he's awesome. We produced this show, so he's great.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm looking
Kelly,
forward to it.
This old age sucks. It used to, when somebody told me I was hot, it really meant something good. Now it's like, what the fuck's wrong with you? My good days are over.
Cold shower will fix that.
I really am contemplating that.
I wouldn't take that shower, because then when you wake up in the morning, your hair is going to pay for it dearly.
That's okay, because I have to go to my trainer at the gym in the morning, so I don't care what she thinks I look like.
That's what I've been doing. Did you guys see what I posted earlier?
She sees me struggle trying to do squats, so my hair is the least of her worries.
For me, I just started doing exercising again, and I've already lost a few pounds. So
that's awesome.
It was actually from a doctor's visit that he told me that it was my weight was starting to get dangerously high, and I needed to make. And trust me, it was it still is, a real struggle to make different changes in food and exercising. It's painful, but I was starting it was an all-time high. I was 290.
The real struggle is sticking to it.
Yes. So
right.
As of right now, I mean, I was at my all-time high. I was at 293 pounds, but now I checked this morning and I'm already down to 287. So
wow.
I mean, yes, it's probably just most likely the water, because there's like water sometimes. Yes, it's most likely that, but you know what? You're still losing it. So I'm off to a great start.
And when the doctor tells you, it's like a real wake-up call. It's like
it is.
And when you see it dropping off, it makes you want to do more.
Well, and it's tough. So and they've also been telling me too, especially at the age I'm at now. It's like I really got to start cutting some of the stuff out. I mean, it will be a challenge, but I got to cut some of the stuff out. I mean, all is possible.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't.
Well, now that it's getting warmer outside, it'll make it easier to be able to get out and just walk around the neighborhood.
Well, that's why, for example, I wanted to explain this earlier. That's why I was a couple minutes late to the show, because I just came back from the park center.
There you go.
Yeah.
Whatever it takes, we got to do it.
Yep.
So next week we're going to have Sean Whittington and Rich Valdez on the show, and that's going to be a fun show. We're going to be talking mostly about their new show that is either coming out or is already out, called
It's coming out in June, and it's produced by Eli Roth.
and it's
Well, really, Eli Roth.
Exorcist. Is that what it is? Legion of Exorcists.
Legion of Exorcists, yes. And I know all but one of the people on that show. They're amazing people. They are. They're wonderful humans.
So over the next few weeks, we're going to try to get all of them onto this show at some point. So, and the first round is next week. We're going to have 2 of them. There's 6 of them all together.
Yep.
So until next week, everybody, thank you for playing along. We're going to go ahead and call it a night. It's already been 2.5 hours. Nick, I'm not sticking around in the green room. I don't need to
I
either.
don't
I mean,
blame you.
if I have any questions, I'll just message you again. I don't really have anything to talk to you about.
Kelly, again, thank you for everything.
Thank you,
I really
Kelly.
appreciate your opinions.
Kelly, message Nick, get a hold of Nick, and see if we can schedule a time for you to actually be a guest on the show on camera with us sometime. So
It'd be awesome to have you.
So until next week, you guys have a good night, or in Kelly's case, a good day.
Good night, y'all.
Good night, everyone.